Jackson, the 5'7", 165-pound cornerback, in good position.
Yeah, Anthony's going to have to be a little bit more careful with the ball. There was not a lot of separation there. You're in the corner, so,
throw it away.
Just get rid of it there.
He's coming in tonight, 24 TDs, only 4 interceptions.
So now Marino hands it off to Johnny Jones, runs hard, takes a big hit, still moving forward. And so
it's going to be 3rd and 2 down territory. In my opinion, we got to put this in the box.
Right now, what we're seeing really is the opposite of what we thought was going to happen. The run game has been more effective than the passing game up to this point, Kenny.
Yes.
All right.
Well, I like the calls that they have. They've been a little different.
There's Johnny Jones running hard and
he's got to be in.
Give him 6. So a little delay there. That's 6 points for the Palmetto Tigers. Great running on that series by Johnny Jones.
Great play calling. We talked a little bit about it. The Wildcat, and then Anthony Marino on a up middle of the line run, and some passes in there, but basically Johnny Jones.
Johnny and Anthony on that series.
Anthony made it happen, and great start. This is going to be a long 48-minute battle.
So Rafael Gonzalez prepares to kick this one. Braden Nickel with a very important snap. Nice one. Marino gets it down. Kick is up, and it is good. So your Palmetto Tigers are in the lead here, 7-0, 7:26 on the clock.
And you remember we came in here last year not knowing what to think. We were down 21-7 at halftime with these guys, down 14 points 2 times during the game. So didn't have the start that we had tonight, so good job for the offense finishing that drive.
Yeah, if you can see the field is not in the best shape. I was down there earlier. It felt like
rain today.
And it was
Stormed.
wet.
It's pretty wet.
It's very choppy down there, as you can tell, especially at the 40-yard line. And something we'll have to really keep our eye on later on, because these backs and these receivers trying to cut, and we know that can be a big problem for our receivers anyway.
Derek Bryant and Toafila back there waiting for the kick. Rafael Gonzalez, the left footer, is going to kick this one away. Now we've seen Rafael's kick.
2018 FHSAA Class 7A football championships have been granted to TigerVision by the Florida High School Athletic Association and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Florida High School Athletic Association is prohibited.
Gonzalez kicks it. He drives it. It's a high kick, and it's going to be into the end zone.
Look at that.
Great job by Rafael.
A little bit of a win. It's just enough to give him a little boost, and I'll take it any day with those 2 guys. Yes. Brian, you were describing back there, not letting them have their hands on the ball.
Always a threat. Now you're going to see them on offense here, and this will be a chance for the Patriots to come out and show, there's a lot of numbers that they put on the boards and yardage over the season, and you just can't expect that, they're going to come out here and stumble every time. They're a super team. Coppola is going to take this one under center, and he's got Tolafili in the backfield. Bryan in motion. They throw a wide toss play. The helmet comes off their player. He breaks a tackle or 2. Another tackle is broken. It's a foot race, and it's going to be tracked down by Mike Gall.
That's why everybody's looking at this kid. He can do it all. He moves quick. He gets outside and get 195 pounds, perfect size for a back.
Yeah, we got a little out of position on that one. We started kind of trying to push to the outside.
And he got to tackle him.
He cut right back.
And what they like to do to the long side of the boundary here out of this wing T formation, you might see counter going the other side to the long side of the field with Derek Bryant, but he's now they line up with a H-back back there, a little different formation than we've seen. 3 receivers out there. Tofili gets the ball, hands up goes up for about a 4-yard gain on the play. Toafili, he reminds me of Eric Dickerson, kind of a long, tall. He runs straight and runs high, but he is amazing how he can shake tackles, Ken.
Yeah, absolutely. His pregame meal is he goes to this restaurant and gets chicken tenders, the 3-piece or the 5-piece. And Rick, I thought somehow we could somehow get it distracted, but didn't happen tonight. Just to throw him up a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, Marcus Allen and
Marcus Allen is a good
Felix Jones kind of have
Yes.
a similar look to this
Yes,
young man.
Marcus Allen, yes.
It's going to be a false start on the offense.
False start on the Patriots. That's going to back them up. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 11. Now, Rick, what are you seeing out of the Palmetto Tiger defense?
Right now, I mean, they're playing well. I think on that big play that we just had from the Patriots, they just got out of the tackle, really just got pushed out. And that opened up that gap there for that talented back to run through. And, you don't have to give him much. We know that.
Yeah, he's what a dude, as you would call in the high school. That's and he's highly recruited by all the big colleges, or a lot of the big colleges, and a great back and a great system back here. Now they put Donovan Delio, the tight end, back there, and Tofili takes it, breaks the tackle, and great play.
Great job. That's going to be Brandon Waiters.
Brandon Waiters.
Yeah, Brandon Waiters, the Palmetto Tigers' leading tackle. He needs one more. That's 99 tackles for the season.
99, yes. We were talking about that before the game. He'll get his 100 tackle tonight. He's had a great season.
3rd and 11. Now out of this formation, what you may see, the very Nathaniel Anderson is a great receiver. All right, now he takes it, looks out there, throws it out there to Bryant. He's going to try to make somebody miss, and does. And he breaks another tackle, but great job of the Tigers.
Short. I tell you what, that was a heck of a hit that young man took, and he was able to stay on his feet. I don't know how, but spun around and got as much as he could. But an excellent play by the Tiger defense to swarm to the ball and make a huge tackle there on 3rd and long.
So that'll bring up a punting situation, and Tom just said that he was having some problem with the audio with Ken and Rick up here, so we'll probably adjust that, see if we can get that fixed.
Actually, I can hear them fine. It's you, Brian, I can't get, but we're going to get through it.
We can't hear you.
Watch the fake. Watch the fake here.
All right, so here's the punt. Tofili back there looks, and he kicks that one. It's a low worm burner. Get out of the way, and it's going to be down there at the 7-yard line.
Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to have an opportunity on special teams to do something with that punt team. They look pretty rough there. The bad snap, not very good kick. That could be a factor tonight.
Well, like I said before, at Brian, we were talking about their pregame stats. They don't punt very much, so that's probably as much as they punted in any game all year here in the first quarter.
Oh, that's not good. That's a face mask on the Tigers. It's going to move that ball back about half a distance to the goal there.
All right, the referees are sorting this one out here. 4 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock here. And as they sort this one out, I'm going to reach for my water bottle. And it's on
the Patriots. That's a great call.
That was a nice gift.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. A very nice punt, downed inside the 10-yard line, and a face mask in the middle of the field on the ball that's rolling.
Yeah, it wasn't even returned.
Well, to be able to get off that 7, get a little bit deeper on your side of the field is huge right now, because we need to try to continue to push them back offensively, keep them on their end of the field, and anything that we can do to pick up some yards, pick up some first downs. Kenny, even if we don't score, keep them back deep in their territory.
All right, now the Palmetto Tigers, 4 minutes and 12 seconds with a 7-0 lead. Marino has this. Now we have a water break, so we're going to have a chance to catch up with that water bottle now.
You guys remember last year, it was about 50 degrees as we were standing up here, and that wind was just blowing through these open windows in this booth that is already higher than most that we have an opportunity to be in. totally different weather pattern tonight.
Yes, I forgot all about that, Rick, and forgot about a lot of other things as we got up here, but it was very cold, and it's like mid-season.
Man, that must have been
September
terrible.
Game.
That must have been horrible being in the booth with the wind blowing 50 degrees. That was terrible,
It
guys.
really was, Tom. We had the windows open. That's the night that all three of us became very close.
It's already tight.
Hey guys, I just got
Very
to step
tight
in here
quarters.
for a second here from a note from the booth. FHSAA would like to remind you about sportsmanship. Sportsmanship is having pride in your school, your team, and yourself. Sportsmanship is respect for the game and those who play it. The Florida High School Athletic Association reminds you to take on the responsibility of good sportsmanship. Play strong, play hard, and play fair. This message provided by this station and the FHSAA.
Thank you, Jordan. And I wanted to say here at Pinellas Park, you know, we go travel a lot of places on the road, and the courtesy people here at Pinellas Park have been wonderful to us, and it's great to come in here, you know, make that short trip across the Skyway Bridge, and they're treating us better than we deserve here, and we greatly appreciate it. Now Marino's going to take this when he has 3 receivers out there to the left, and Butler comes into the backfield. And then they hand the ball off to Butler, makes a big cut, and he's still on his feet. First down, but there's a flag in the middle of the field thrown back there in the area.
Got to be a hold.
Holding on the left
Look at
side
that.
line.
What in the world just happened there? Well after the play, Ethan Ingram was just body slammed near the sideline. So it was
Right
a
in
holding
front of the
on Palmetto.
referee.
Right in front of the ref, no call.
That's odd.
Yeah, odd. Okay, so that's going to be from the spot. It's a spot foul. I think it was right at the line of scrimmage, so that's going to be a 1st and 20. Really good run there by Butler coming out of there, picking up a first down, but the Tigers are backing up here with 4 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock.
Guys, that really is a shame. That was the right guard, number 55. I had a good, clear view of that tackle he did on the defensive line. But what a great move by the running back. I mean, he shook that guy out of his shoes. That was pretty impressive. Too bad it's negated.
Yeah, you know, we talked about this last week, Tom, is, you know, we had, 20 penalties, and that's something that we just cannot have tonight against this team.
All right, 2:56 on the clock. Marino has 3 wide and 1 out here to the right. Hands the ball off, and it's running hard for about a 3-yard gain. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 17.
Yeah, somehow, some way, we're going to have to get these receivers involved in this game. I think that we'll be fine. We will eventually get the look that we need, Kenny. It's just right now the running game has been working.
2 receivers on each side of the formation. Nice split over here. And, you know, these Patriots are missing that big nose tackle. Nicholas Sims went out with an injury. Now Marino looks, throws it out there. Long ball intended for Jonte Wester. He's got it. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. You will not catch him. Bye-bye. Touchdown, Jonte Wester.
That's how you convert a 2nd and 17.
And there's the throw. You know, Anthony has started out a little tight in the game, and the motions were getting the best of both quarterbacks, but Marino threw a beautiful ball to the outside shoulder. Exactly perfect connection there for Jonte.
The best thing, guys, is that Jonte did not have to slow down at all. Anthony hit him right in the hands on the run, and we know the breakaway speed that Jonte is not going to catch him.
Right. We were both saying that. That poor boy is not going to catch him.
No.
So big play there.
All right, Rafael Gonzalez awaits this one. Anthony Marino, the quarterback, shows great hands back there on the spot, and Braden Nickel has been absolutely perfect out of the long snapping position this year for the Tigers. Good snap, kicks up very high, and it is good. He just knifed that one in next to the left upright. 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Your Palmetto Tigers lead this one 14-0.
Yeah, the big thing, guys, is, you know, remember that we were in this exact position last year. We were on the losing end of the first quarter, so a lot of ball game left here and a lot of opportunities still on the field. So defensively, you know, we can't let up, and we can't get ourselves in a position to allow them back into this ball game. We can keep the foot on the throttle right now and just continue to, you know, pick up those first downs and pick up those touchdowns and defensively hold them. You know, it could be a good night, but can't get overly confident is my point.
Yes, I agree. We want to be a defense that may bend some, but don't break. Don't give them that long run to make them back in by 1 score. That's going to be critical, especially on this series right here.
Yeah, there's one thing that we do know is that Pinellas Park, the Patriots have not been in this position before.
That's correct.
No, they've had one game with St. Pete Lakewood that was 21-13. That was their only true test.
Tolafili's back there. This one's a short kick, and it's going to be fielded right there. LT fumbles it momentarily. He's at the 15 looking for the edge. He's got it, and coming up to make the tackle there, driving him out of bounds is number 21.
That's going to be John Wester.
John Wester. So heads-up play. You know, that young man, you have to turn him inside, and John Wester was able to use the sideline as an extra defender.
Hey, if we can keep them on that 25,
yeah,
20,
anytime
25,
inside
that's
the
a
30
win.
is a win, definitely, especially with the talent they have there, and almost, again, got it in the end zone. Same effect.
Rico Holmes is out here wide, and Coppola takes this when he pitches the ball out there. Goff in pretty good position. Ball's up. Get it, Tigers, and it goes. Rump had a shot, and that's a recovery.
I think we're going to have a hold as well on the Patriots. But that was a good job. Couldn't tell who got their helmet in there.
And
that thing was up in the air, probably 15 feet, spinning.
And interesting, Devontae Penny, number 76 with a recovery. And he's a little fella, Ken. He's only 6'4" and 320 pounds.
He went up there and got it like a
young
basketball player.
That young man's got some serious hands for an offensive lineman.
Guys, I'm going to tell you that kickoff was dropped when he caught it. Bounced right back up into his hands. Now, a play later, the fumble 15 feet in the air, and a lineman catches it. It's only a matter of time for this defense gets a turnover.
Yeah, Tom, that's one thing that has been missing the last couple games is Palmetto Tiger defense, very opportunistic in the turnover department, but the near turnover there.
All right, now we just picked up the flag, so I guess we had no penalty.
2nd and 5. That's if you want to draw that one up. Here's what we do. We're going to go for about a 2-yard gain. Let's fumble it another 3 yards forward and have a 320-pounder come up with a big recovery. Tolafila's in the backfield, wing T formation. Coppola looks, nice little route there, bobbled initially, and then a big hit by Day Hill in coverage.
Yeah, we're off about 5 yards, just a quick pass, and those corners are going to play. They're going to play a little soft and come up. So just a quick pass, pick up the first down, and move the chain. So like you said, we're going to bend it a little bit. This is a very dynamic offense.
Coming into this game, like Brian said earlier, averaging 20 yards per reception.
And Jadion Williams is out there wide, and LT in the formation. Now they pitch it out to Bryant. Watch out. Look at the speed by this young man, and he's got the edge, and he is tackled. Now,
that's John Wester that was able to grab a shoelace and get him down.
And he is extremely fast. He's a two-stepper, one of those guys.
He is dangerous anytime he gets his hands on the ball. I'm more worried about him because he can take it to the house
every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, if John Wester doesn't get a hand in there, that's a touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
So big stop, and he was marked just a tad short of the first down, brings us second and about 6 inches here. Really good position on the field to throw the ball. You might want to go down and test the back of the Palmetto Tiger defense. Tolafili in motion, and they run it inside, and there's Bryant going forward for about a 7-yard gain. First down, ball is spotted at the 46-yard line.
Looks like it came
47.
loose, and we got our hands on it, but I think they blew it.
Yeah, the referee blew it dead.
They're knocking it loose.
So that Palmetto Tiger defense is, really coming up hard for these hits and very nearly forcing another turnover here. 1st and 10 for the Patriots. Minute 16 on the clock in first.
Got big number 75, Lee Matthews, in there at tackle right now.
I like that. Normally offensive tackle Lee Matthews steps up there at D tackle. Now Bryant's in motion. They throw a pitch out here. Tofili, and big hit again. Wow, those Tigers are hitting hard. Goff was involved in play, but coming up for a big hit there. Let's see. That was number.
That's going to be Ellison Bradley.
Ellison Bradley, number 9.
Bembry was part of it. Goff. Again, they're keeping him to the inside, which is our best route to slow him down.
And they are filling that gap. You see that gap open up, and the linebackers or the safeties are appearing simultaneously and really coming up with some big hits. Damian Hill is out here 10 yards off the ball, covering the receiver out here. And there's your flex bone. Capola throws out hitch. It's open. Make a good tackle out there, Jonte Wester. He does. That one's going to be marked for the first down.
We played up a little closer that time, and perhaps next one or two times we can jump one of his passes. He's just looking down the receivers.
He didn't get. There's the end of the first quarter. Not much of not the best spot there. So John Wester was able to make a great tackle. It's going to be 3rd and 6 as they change things up here.
Yeah, I don't really think that these receivers can burn our corners. I think that we can come up, we can almost jam them at the line if we wanted to. I just don't think that they can get around Day and John. But we gotta be ready for that fake short pass and that go route. We just got to be on our toes. But I just don't think that we have a problem with controlling these receivers if we want to.
And looking at, they don't throw that often. They just throw to keep the run game balanced. But only use two receivers. One has 22 receptions, and I think the other one had 23 or 24. So they're very limited on who they throw the ball to.
Yeah, so when we talk about 3rd and 6, I was talking about 3rd and 6 inches on the spot. And it's a really inside Pinellas Park territory. It's one of those times when you're a great running team like Pinellas Park and it's 3rd and 6 inches from this side of the field, it's an excellent time to dial one up and throw the big ball out, down the field. But I expect them to come up, line up, and play football and just run for the first down. If you were going to sneak a pass, maybe a skinny post,
this is the time
to do it. So Bryant is in the backfield back there with Tolafili, and Capola is going to take this one under center. 3rd and 6 inches. Matthews at defensive tackle. Rumpf is out there. Tolafili in motion. They run it, and Bryant's got a lane. Oh, man, slips on his cut. He's tackled at the 30.
Saved us that time, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that earlier. The field is definitely choppy and it's wet, and that did help us out on that play, because that would have been a touchdown.
Boy, he hit that line hard and went right through that hole. He's scary.
He reminds me a lot of the Purdue back receiver that went off against Ohio State. He has that type of quickness. He's not the biggest guy, but man, is he talented. Derek Bryant. Capola looking for the receiver, throws the ball down the sideline. Good coverage out there by John Wester, and that's going to be an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and once again, just a great coverage by John Wester. There was absolutely no way that that receiver for Pinellas Park was going to catch that ball, and that's really what I'm talking about. I just don't think they're quick enough to get around these corners, these Tiger corners. But also had Mike Goff there playing safety. He was right there as well, so probably was a good thing that he overthrew that pass.
The referee was running back there. He's in great position to make the call and fell on the cone back there. With all that surface area out there, he found that skinny little orange pylon. But Capola takes it, Tofili up the middle, wide open, and a good touchdown-saving tackle there by Mike Goff.
So we're just a shoestring away from one of these backs for the Patriots breaking it wide open. We just got to do a little bit better defensively of getting up there and filling that gap, guys.
We've got to stop them for a couple of plays in a row.
Because right now they're just running right off tackle.
And they're getting 2nd and 3rd and shorts, which opens up their playbook.
Yeah, no panic here by the Patriots. And this time Bryant has it big hit by Derek Marino on the tackle. So nice tackle by Derek Marino out in safety position.
But it moves the chains, and which is what they want to do, and they've got a nice drive going here, Rick.
And we do have statistics coming in from our Atlanta studio here. Pinellas, 9 rushes for 55 yards, 3 for 4 passing, 19 yards, 74 total yards. Palmetto, 7 rushes, 44 yards, 3 for 8 passing, 91 yards, total 135 yards. Now, 1st and 10 for the Patriots. They run it to Tolafili. He has an edge. Now Brandon Waiters is going to be out there trying to make a tackle. Charles Miller, number 22, with a nice tackle.
Yeah, I mean, right now the offensive line for the Patriots doing a remarkable job. They really are. They're pushing our D-line exactly where they need to push them, and we're having some wide open holes and some gaps for these running backs to run through. We're just going to have to try to buckle down here and do a better job, keep them out of the end zone.
They were 3 and out the first 2 times, so obviously they've made some great adjustments.
8 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. Let me see. It's hard to tell on the clock here. We're missing 9:37 on the clock. Yeah, the 8 looks like 9. Great help up here. And Bryant goes for the first down. Nice spinning move, very close to the marker. Let's see where they spot it. Looked like a first down from here.
Their bread and butter tonight has been that dive through the center of the line rather than what we've seen on the outside. A lot of tape on them to get to the outside.
But Bryant, he's so quick. He starts spinning before he even gets to the line. He's just spinning.
Spin 3 times.
Yeah.
He's something. Sam Pasco, number 70. In there, Sam has played offensive line, and now he's playing defensive tackle with a nice tackle on the play. So it's a 1st and goal ball at the 7-yard line. It's a pitch out there to Bryant. It's a student body play, and he goes for the touchdown. So what you see in that formation, when Bryant comes up from the slot back position, goes into the backfield, what they'll do, they'll go student body right, following the block of Tolafili, and there's your first touchdown for the Patriots.
They were everything we thought they were running the ball.
Well, yeah, we
just showed us.
We knew that they were going to get their act together and to do what they've been doing all year. So we've talked about this for several games. This may be another one of those games where whoever has the ball last wins, and that was the case last year when we played them. And we just need to offensively, we're just going to have to score.
Just keep scoring.
Cody Willoughby's going to hold this one. Didn't catch the long snapper, and Myrick is going to kick this one. So this extra point, good snap. It's down and very nearly blocked there. Great effort, but the kick is up and good, and that was Damian Hill.
Day Hill, they practice that a couple of times a week in practice. He tries to come around that edge and just lay it out and try to get a fingertip on there. He was real close to getting that first block of the year.
And he may get one. What they do is an interlock, with the leg sticking way out there wide. I kind of looked at that on some film. And if you get your steps right, like a crossover step in basketball, if you've got your steps right, you can get across there. But it's difficult.
And it's an odd angle because you've got it's 7 yards back there, so you've got to leap at about 4 or 5 to get to where the ball's going to be. So.
All right, now this should be exciting here. The Tigers are ahead on this one, 14-7, and the kick here by Myrick, and he's going to kick to Wester and Sajel Hickson back there. This could be interesting. Now, kind of light along the line of scrimmage. You have to be ready. I doubt there's going to be an onside kick, but they're spread out pretty good up there. A low squib kick.
Only got 4 up there.
Only got 4 up there.
Usually you see a 5-4-2, but he's got a 4-3.
Didn't they do something last year like that?
Maybe so.
I can't.
Yeah, you have to. There's a lot of space up in the front side of that, and then in the back on the 15-yard lines awaiting the receive, and it's a short kick, and it's going to be Sajel Hickson again, and he's at the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and tackled right there at the 45-yard line. Sajel Hickson, the flag on the play.
He's just picking right up where he left off last week with the Tarpons. With a great game.
Wow, so that was a big return called back for the Palmetto Tigers.
That's a spot penalty, Brian.
That's a personal foul. That's what, I don't think I've seen so many personal fouls on kickoffs.
Personal foul away from the ball from the spot. Now we're going to see where that spot foul would be.
It's going to be a 50-yard net penalty.
Oh, that's a big one for the Palmetto Tigers.
Did Sajel get it across the 50?
No, he did not.
So but he's pretty close. Big, the net's going to be 35 yards or so.
There we go. Look at this. Now all the way to the 15, 14, 13, and eventually they're going to spot this one on the 10-yard line. So there's your 40-yard penalty on that one, net for the Palmetto Tigers.
So this is when you got to really, buckle down, and the athletes got to make plays, and you just got to come out here and not be concerned about what just happened. Offensively, we got to continue to grind here, and we've got to get at least past the 50.
Ventrell Jackson's out here wide, but now they run a little delayed draw and good defense that time. So the Palmetto Tigers for about a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, this is not the location on the field, guys, where you want to go 3 and out.
Definitely not.
So slipped Corian Brown in the backfield. Corian had an outstanding game, and you might look for him to run some type of wide play here and show that blazing speed that young man possesses. Now it's Johnny Jones in the backfield, number 7. 2 receivers wide on each side of the formation.
We got to hurry up here. We got to hurry up.
Butler in the slot. There's a crease. He looks for him. Now he throws it out of bounds and throws it to Kobe Mays at the marker. No gain on the play, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. So here's a big one.
Obviously didn't get the look he wanted on that.
No.
And, so hopefully dial something up here again and pull something. Coach Ty pulls something out of the playbook here that they haven't seen.
So player down on the sideline, and you can see the difference on that defensive line when number 99, the nose tackle that went out with an injury, the push that he gets. Nicholas Sims, the nose tackle, he's a good one, and he makes a huge difference for that Pinellas Park defense.
We were talking about him before the game. He reminds you of Brian Bembry with the push that he gets, and that's a tough person to find, a skill that has that skill.
And now
guys, I just need to step in here just for a second. For the latest official news about Florida high school sports, including results of all rounds in the 2018 FHSAA football championships, visit FHSAA.org, the official website of the Florida High School Athletic Association. That's www.fhsaa.org. Catch live and on-demand postseason coverage of Florida high school sports at www.nfhsnetwork.com. Brought to you by the NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHSAA.
Fantastic job, Jordan. And that was number 11, Brennan Scott over there. Tom, what kind of injury do you think he had over there?
He was grabbing the front of his thigh. Oddly enough, he delivered a pretty tough blow on number 13 here, Kobe. And it looked like Kobe got the worst of it until Kobe jumped up and ran back. But he was grabbing just above his knee on his thigh there.
Thank you, Tom. And as they sort this one out, it'll be interesting to see if they go right after that corner with such a loss of a fine corner there. 3 receivers out here, very soft cushion. Marino looks, throws it out there. Kobe Mays, great catch. And he's going to be about a half a yard short on the play.
Boys, when I tell you that was a fingertip catch, if we get to see this in replay at all, that was an amazing catch right in front of me.
So I guess we've got a decision to make here. 4th and 1. Do you trust your offense to pick this up, deep in Tiger territory? And I think that Coach Marino is going to go for it, or at least act like it.
Act like it.
Yeah, well,
this is where that wild card that Venice killed us on a few weeks ago.
Venice 6 for 6 on 4th down conversions, and you might just try to draw them off.
There's no tomorrow. It's a one-game season.
Throw it out there to Butler. That's the soft cushion. He fakes it. Marino keeps it 1st down and more. He's got the edge sideline. He's at the 40, right about the 39-yard line for Anthony Marino.
What a huge play. What a huge play, Anthony Marino. That was probably one of the most impressive runs that he's had all year, because you saw him turn the jets on as soon as he got across that line of scrimmage and just powered it.
Just besides the run, just the whole thing, reading the dive and following up, knowing that he had to get a yard.
And his running ability is very understated. Marino looks, hands that one off, slipping on his cut. There's some real problems with the footing on the field here, and that was Johnny Jones. Marino is the leading touchdown scorer running the ball. 13 touchdowns.
13 touchdowns coming in the game with 478 yards rushing. It would be hard to believe that, but that's almost 50 yards a game from your quarterback.
2nd and 8 here for Marino. This time he's taking it under center. Likes what he sees out here to the left. You've got press coverage out there on Kobe Mays, but playing way off. It's 2 for 1 out here with a 10-yard cushion on the soft side of the zone. Marino takes it, hands it off, and again slipping is Johnny Jones.
It's almost impossible. We're at the worst part of the field. It's almost impossible to make a cut here. It is loose. It's nothing but dirt. You're not going to get any traction. So, we're going to have to just go straight ahead and try to bulldog.
Guys, I don't know if you guys got a chance to get on the field before the game, but it's very spongy out there. They said they had some rain recently. I'm a little skeptical about that. It was very dry on the sidelines, but on the field it was very spongy and wet.
All right, Tom, good call there. 3rd and a long 5, short 6 yards for the Palmetto Tiger offense. Coming up, see if they can find the void. Here he's coming off the edge. Watch out, Marino. He gets it out. Beautiful route out there. And there's Butler. Shakes one, shakes another, and slips on his cut. Real nice play there by number 6 to save a touchdown, Eric Jackson.
Rick, I thought he was taken out to the
I
house.
did too, but they've got some very fast defensive backs and linebackers. But I tell you what I like about this, no matter what happens, we have flipped the field here. Yes. And we started back on our 5 or 10?
10-yard line.
10-yard line.
Great drive time, taking a lot of time off the clock. The clock here reads 6:31, but it's 5:31. I've got some professionals up here to help us up in the press box. So 5:31 on the clock. Palmetto Tigers lead this one 14-7. A long, methodical drive down here. Just what you need to the close of the second quarter.
Absolutely. We've moved 48 yards down the field methodically and converting on a couple of 3rd downs and a 4th down to keep the drive alive.
Yeah, and that's what has been so impressive and very important during this first half is the offense came out sluggish on that first series, but, outside of the long go route to Jonte Wester, we've been able to chew some time up off the clock and also give the defense some time to take a breather.
While we have a break in the action here, tonight's game in the 2018 FHSAA Class 7A Football Championships is sponsored by the Florida High School Athletic Association. The FHSAA is a democratic organization with a membership of more than 800 middle and senior high schools, all committed to ensuring that Florida student athletes can compete fairly and equitably in an educational environment. The Florida High School Athletic Association, building leaders through teamwork, sportsmanship, and citizenship.
Marino has it in the shotgun. He throws it out there. Butler, nice looking play out there. He's looking to shake a tackle. Another fine defensive play, but he goes for about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, if you look at this Patriot defense, they are really tackling well tonight. They are just out there, man on man. We haven't been able to break away from many of them tonight, guys.
And that is because they face Derek Bryant in practice constantly.
So they're used to seeing that kind of speed that we have.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They are making some fine, the best tackling secondary that we've seen this year. Now there's a flag on the play. Palmetto looks like we were lined up offsides, but let's see how they sort this out. No,
looks like it's on the defense, guys.
That's a huge play there, just lining up offsides. Good call, Tom. Tom, can you wave your arms? I want to see where you are on the sideline.
I'm on the 20-yard line, other end down here, behind the defense.
Big and beautiful Tom Porter on the 20 down there.
That's right.
Did you not get the memo on the red shirt?
I did, but they asked me to wear something different to stand out, so I'm trying to.
But we can't see you.
I'm trying to follow directions, which I'm not naturally good at. So
a white shirt would have been nice, but hey.
It was dirty.
Back to the action. Marino hands the ball off, and he faked it. What a fake there. Great play. Curtis Thomas is out there.
So there was a flag right over there with Kobe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where the flag is.
What happened?
Okay, on that, they must have called a rub route or blocking downfield or something in that. Let's see what the call was over there. Kobe Mays came in on a slant, and then they threw that ball out there. So there's a Curtis Thomas out there. And it looked like
I'm hoping a face mask.
No, it looks like maybe the rub route you're talking about here.
Come on now.
Looks like what they're going to call.
They're going to call offensive pass interference. Well, here it comes, offensive pass interference on the Tigers.
So what would they set up a screen there or something to free him up?
So, man, what a huge penalty this one is. bringing us back 15 yards on that call. And I don't know. I saw Kobe come out there, and it looked like Curtis Thomas may have come out of like a tight end position and ran that one to the boundary. Excellent play call, something we haven't seen before. But that brings up a 2nd and 17 for the Palmetto Tigers. Kobe Mays is out here wide. Marino, Johnny Jones in the backfield. Looks, middle, and he runs it. And he fumbled it as he came out, and it's going to be down right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe picked up about half a yard on the play.
So we're going to bring up a 3rd and long. The ball just kind of fell out of Anthony's hand. He would have picked up.
He had a lot of running room.
About 8 to 10, I think.
For sure.
He had a lot of room. He saw it in front of him.
So it should bring up about a 3rd and 16, 17 on the play for the Tigers. Good place here. If you can guess right. Now,
Kobe Mays. I think it's Kobe Mays.
What you may
here.
see if you're going to go for it twice, if they come in with a 3-man front, they like to run out of this formation just based on what Marino is looking at. If you get a block on the linebacker, you can have a big running play. Marino takes it, runs up middle field, and he takes a hit and goes for about a 4-yard gain on the play, so that's going to bring up 4th and about 12.
We're definitely going to punt the ball away here and try to pin them back as far as we can.
Yes, we're going to play field position smart.
Going to let the clock wind down here. 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock as Derek Marino, strong safety, is going to go back there in punting formation. Back there, looks like that is Marino's punting the ball, and I'm not picking that up. It might be Nolan Wasobo back there. And there it is. It's high, fair catch, and he does that at the 16-yard line.
Mission accomplished.
So we've got to try to come in here and keep them out of the end zone. Still a lot of time for them, not anything to panic about. We just got to defensively. Good job by the offense. I know that we wanted to be in the end zone. We had a couple of bad breaks, but we were able to flip the field and pin them back.
Yes, and what we're going to watch here again is the 2-for-1 as we exit the first half here, because they're going to get the ball at the beginning of the second half.
That's right, and that was Cody Willoughby. Cody's got his jersey tucked up there. Pretty hard to see the number up there. Cody Willoughby, number 15, with a fair catch. Now here he comes. Toafili's trying to get the edge. Turn him inside. Good job by the Tiger defense to turn that one inside. But the clock will stop temporarily for the first down. Looked like Brandon Waiters, number 23, involved with the tackle.
10 on the tackle along with 9.
And Mike Goff on the tackle, number 10, along with number 9, which is Ellison Bradley.
Bradley was the one that kept him to the inside. He wanted to get on that sideline, but he turned him in.
He wanted to hit that sideline and turn the Jets on. 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Going away from the wing T formation, and now it has an H-back back there, 2 receivers on each side. Coppola looks, rolls, looking to run. It's being chased, and there's going to be a great play by Day Hill trying to strip the ball.
2 flags.
2 flags out there. But you can see the closing speed with Day Hill there. Damian, showed that track speed to come up and outrun that quarterback to the sideline.
Yeah, it was very obviously Day. He looked like he had a different gear making that tackle.
We're going to have to let the referee
Tom,
sort this out.
What you got down there, Tom? What do you think you saw?
Well, I'm back here in the end zone now, getting ready for the halftime. It kind of looked like it could have been a face mask, possibly. Yep, face mask.
All right, so trying to rip the ball out of there was Damian Hill. He picks up a face mask call. That'll be 15-yarder. And that is a tough one for your Palmetto Tigers. The 3 timeouts left remain here for the Patriots. No rush here. Plenty of time on the clock. Palmetto Tigers backing up. Penalty yardage once again. Last week we were a little sloppy on that. We had a net 40-yard penalty on a kick return, and the penalty yardage is really starting to pile up on these penalties.
Sooner or later, it's going to catch up with you.
They've been big tonight. This is, I believe, the 3rd personal foul we've had tonight, maybe 4. But like you said, you're talking 15 yards a pop.
Yeah, so big
They're
penalties.
good. That's very helpful, keeping drives alive too when you think you've got them stopped.
And
it's going to take 11 on 11 to, as they're playing as a unit, to slow these guys down.
All right, 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Was that a water break, guys?
Might have been a timeout.
Timeout, Pinellas Park. So they have 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. Ball is going to be at their own 48-yard line. Plenty of time on the clock. And really the Palmetto Tigers defense has to come up with a stop.
This all boils down to, if you want to be a championship quality team, if that's your goal, then you have to be able to put these good teams away. And you've got to be able to play smart, Kenny.
Absolutely, Rick. These are one-game seasons. It's all or nothing.
All right, 1st and 10. Ball's at the 48. Running into the game very late here is Rico Holmes, shredding some gear, and Brendan Scott is out there wide to the left with Rico Holmes. Bryant is out here, and they fake it to Bryant, run it with Tofili. Ball's out, and Palmetto Tiger football.
There we go.
So you saw Brandon Waiters on the strip. You know, that's force fumble number 4 for Brandon Waiters on the year.
And there's where that spinning caught up to him, because he was spinning around. The ball is up in the air. We're Johnny on the spot. Brandon Waiters. Who else? Nice job.
Coach Marino, before the game, we were talking about the Lakewood game where they won, but it was close, and Tofili coughed up the ball a couple times in that game doing this very thing, one time even in the end zone.
Now, one thing we've seen with these Palmetto Tigers, they generally, with Coach Marino and clock management, never a problem. He has 3 timeouts in the pocket, 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Let's see if the Tigers can have a drive here reminiscent of that 2-minute drill last year. Marino looking the field over. Jonte Wester, and there's going to be a timeout, Palmetto.
Well, what happened was Anthony's trying to put Jonte in motion. For some reason, he's not clicking. They're not on the same page. Coach Marino saw that, calls a timeout. Very smart play. Get them all together here, and let's make this thing work.
Yeah,
you know,
it's after a big turnover, the last thing you want to do is a silly 5-yard penalty to kind of kill the momentum. Excellent field position here. Plenty of time, still got the timeout. Take a good clock management here, and we should be good.
2:08 on the clock. Palmetto Tigers lead this one 14-7. What a big turn of events there with a fumble. Brandon Waiters came out there. Toafili, we have talked about his running style. He runs, very upright, and he's able to get into the defensive back or the linebackers before they're set and ready to make the tackle. But this time, Waiters beat him to the punch. And, the ball was a little low there, comes out. Tigers have an excellent opportunity. Curtis Thomas is out here wide. Jonte Wester. We have 2 covering 1 at the moment. Jonte Wester, that's one thing Marino is probably looking at over here.
He sees it.
Butler in motion to the right, trying to clear things out to the left. Marino looks, throws down there. Kobe Mays one-hand catch, and he makes a great cut. And he has the ball at the 34-yard line. Kobe Mays.
I mean, he has made spectacular catches all year, guys, and he just continues to impress. That was an Odell Beckham-style one-handed catch there that really helped us get some critical yardage and stop the clock with a first down.
Exactly 2 minutes on the clock here. Palmetto Tigers driving. Ball is at the 34-yard line. Low snap. Oh, Corian Brown slips, gets his footing and goes to the 21-yard line. And you know what? Without that slip, Corian takes that one in the house because the safety had
he had it. Yes, you're right. The field slowed him down again. I asked him before the game, what's your 40 time? You're a track guy. Never run the 40. But he did admit a low 100 meters.
True.
That's pretty fast.
It's obvious when you see Corian Brown play football and get out there on the edge. One thing you'll see with him, other players will break him down, like on the sideline. And Corian Brown, while the guy takes the time to break down, just puts on the jets and runs by him. He is a track guy, but has made the conversion to football here in his senior year and late in the season. He is the up-and-comer this year on this Tiger team, as Kobe Mays was last year.
Yes, and exactly this time last year, Kobe Mays came out of nowhere. Well, you knew, Rick, but he came up from the JV, came into this game, started and caught 9 passes.
Yeah, what happened last year is that Kobe just was not getting the playing time because we had so many receivers out there, and once he got that opportunity, he became
the guy.
That guy, and he's been a starter ever since.
And you have to go back on this series, Palmetto with 3 timeouts in the pocket because they do a very good job of managing those timeouts, able to take that timeout at a critical time in the game, get things right, and a great catch by Kobe Mays across the middle of the field. And then Palmetto now is in field goal range. The ball is at the 21-yard line. Corian Brown in the backfield with Marino. Could be a good place for a quarterback run here also. Big Matthews is out there at left tackle. Corian Brown, great route, and that's Butler, and he's got it. It's a touchdown. Bubba Butler, number 6, Adravian Butler.
Outstanding play, outstanding pass, and Bubba does what Bubba does every game.
And Derek Marino took a shot. He got up a little gingerly, but took the shot and then made a wonderful pass. And Bubba did his thing there in the end zone. Easy pitch and catch. It's almost like maybe we scored a little too quick here, guys.
Well, I tell you what, man, we got a gift. It was handed to us, that fumble, because they really were hoping to get into the end zone themselves prior to the half. We were able to take that ball away and score after a good series.
And really the nice overload field block attempt there by the Patriots, but the snap was good by Braden Nickel. The spot by Marino, good. The kick by Rafael Gonzalez, good. Your Palmetto Tigers lead this one 21-7. 1:34 on the clock.
Yes, they still have plenty of time to match this. Defense made that happen for us, and the offense responded. Just need to come out here, use the clock to your advantage, and get out of this half 21-7. Yes. He took his helmet off.
Yeah,
you're right.
Bryant just took his helmet off before that, but the referee.
He's standing right there.
He must have talked to the referee before that. Good officiating there, as you'll always see in a FHSAA game. You know, you see that during playoff time. The referees do an outstanding job here.
These should be the best from the season, best groups get the playoff games.
So Gonzalez, he's got Braden Nickel out there, a good tackling, our long snapper. Corian Brown is out there. And on the far side of the field, we also have, so there's your receiver back there. It's going to be Bryant. And he gets it at the 10-yard line. And he slips on his cut. Wow, what balance. And he's at the 25-30. There's a foot race there. Turns him inside. Good job there. Number 14
I don't know what the flag could be. Not sure on that.
I didn't see anything. Didn't see anything unnecessary over there. One of the Palmetto defenders went into the Patriot bench.
Maybe a sideline warning on the Patriots.
That's what it's probably a sideline warning. That's a good call, Rick. So here we go. 1 minute, 25 seconds on the clock. Palmetto Tigers have his personal foul, and it's on the Patriots. Now, there's a tough call on the Patriots, 15 yards.
So it probably happened about where so it's going to drop them back inside the 30-yard line.
I don't know. I don't know. When you have a dynamic receiver, it was a blindside block. And when you have somebody like Brian, it's like we have with Lester. How do you know?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you know where those young men are going to be in their cuts?
It's a hard call for those. Those guys, they have to block. They have to maintain their block. You don't know where the play's at.
No. And the guy spins, makes a cut, and you're engaged with the blocker. He turns his back on you, and you pick up a penalty. That's a tough call for the Patriots. 1 minute and 25 seconds on the clock. Palmetto Tigers lead this one 21-7. And that's backed them up to the 23-yard line. We've seen a lot tonight. John Bembry in the middle of the line there. And, Dozier is making his Floyd Dozier Jr., number 50, is making his presence known. Charles Miller at D-end out there. And Crawford out here in the backfield, number 24. This is one to watch out for here. Raquan Crawford, and they've got 2 receivers on each side of the formation. Toafili in the backfield.
One timeout, 85 seconds.
So we are 1 timeout and 85 seconds away from the wrap of this second. Nice seam route. Wow, Toafili did not look.
Never saw it.
He wasn't even looking for that pass yet.
Wow, that was a perfect throw by Coppola. He hit the seam there, but Tolafuli, I guess he was thinking for the post all the way down the middle of the field.
He was wanting it after he outran our defenders, if he could do that.
Boy, if he makes the catch, he splits the two safety. That's the splitter. That's your cover two killer.
Yes.
And that's what they ran with Tolafuli down the seam, and it was open. And
same formation here, Brian.
Good break for the Tigers. Palmetto Tigers out there. Mike Goff is back there at safety. Tigers are on their heels. Bryant, good tackle there, and that's going to be Brandon Waiters out there. Continues to pile up those big tackling numbers.
I don't believe the Patriots have any timeouts left.
They have one.
I think. One left?
One left.
Yep.
Third. The clock's running.
Third and 9.
They're not in a hurry.
This is interesting. If they don't convert here on this third, Palmetto is going to have a chance. The punting game hasn't been that proficient for the Patriots. What we've seen, Palmetto Tigers would have a chance to get the ball back, and you always have the threat of Jonte Wester on a punt return. Two safety look for the Tigers. Watch for that seam route again. And now Bryant's in motion. They toss it to him. Boy, there's some openings there, and he's got the corner, and Goff comes in to clean it up, keeps him inbound. The clock will stop momentarily with the first down.
He might have got out of bounds.
I don't think he made it out of bounds. Did he? He got the first down to stop it.
It's going to stop it a little bit here, but my goodness, we had him. We had him. He is so dangerous when he gets his hands on the ball.
So 35 seconds remaining here. Palmetto Tigers trying to hang on to this 21-7 lead.
There's the clock going.
Again, Derek Bryant. What a talent they have here with number 3. Clock moves because he was tackled inside. Now they burn a timeout. That's a good play.
So they were very nonchalant when the ref started the clock and then allowed 8 or 9 seconds to run off the clock, and then they decided to call timeout.
All right, with out of incomplete passes, the Patriots choose to run the ball here. If you're the Palmetto Tigers, you've got to stop them inside the first down marker once, even under a pass, and then you got to stop them one more time, and the clock will expire.
Yes.
No timeouts on the clock for the Patriots.
So let me ask you this: if Brian had to come off the field because he lost his helmet, now if they call a timeout, does he have the opportunity to come back in now, or does he have to still sit out of play?
I wouldn't that's a great question.
I believe with the timeout, they're allowed to come back in.
You think so, Tom? We got an official up here running the clock, and I'll talk to him tonight. He'll be on that one. So coming out of that, Palmetto Tigers helmet came off on the last play. There's a timeout called by the Patriots.
So they have no more.
So can the Palmetto Tiger player re-enter the game? That's a good question. Oh, it was a Pinellas Park player.
It was Bryant,
number 3.
Lost the helmet on the play.
And I'm not sure.
He's
not in the game, so timeout does not save you. Great. I tell you, this is the second time we've done a game here. I think everybody up here is an ex-official.
Yes.
They are awesome up here. So what the call was is that you cannot re-enter, even the timeout doesn't save you.
Which is our benefit. He's in now.
Why
so
the clock
21
isn't
seconds.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, incomplete pass. I got you.
Pass,
You just
21 seconds
keep
here.
everything in front of us.
But when those referees blow that one live, Tom, let's see. 21 seconds on the clock. Now to look out for, you always have Bryant that you need to cover here. Number 7 is a great receiver, Jaden Williams. And number 9, Nathaniel Anderson. Excellent. This time they throw it in the middle of the field. Tolafili, he's looking for a crease. Good tackle there. Number 5, Reese Lyons. First down, stops the clock, 14 seconds.
So it'll stop momentarily.
And Reese Lyons, number 5, he's being recruited by a lot of
and once they set that ball, it's supposed to start, correct?
That's correct. Oh, no, he got the first down. There it is.
There
now the clock starts.
There
13 seconds, and the clock is live. And Coppola looks, and he's hit. And that's going to be a fumble. Tolafili picks it up. Okay, 5 seconds on the clock.
That's going to do it.
Once again, guys, he fumbles the ball, bounces right up into one of his players' hands.
Now,
we dodged the bullet.
Should have stopped with 2, but that's okay. 2 seconds. 21-7. And the Palmetto Tigers coming off the field. Coaches, you can see the intensity with the players out there. The coaches on both teams hustling out to keep the players away from each other out there. So good sportsmanship shown here by both teams.
Well, we know this is going to be a little emotional for Pinellas Park because they just have never been in this position. They have never trailed going into halftime this entire season. So they had a close game like we talked about with St. Pete Lakewood,
Yes.
but they never trailed that game. And so this is going to be the first time they've trailed a game at halftime all year.
Yeah, if I was Coach Crawford, I would be telling his players that, hey, guys, remember a year ago we were up this exact same score last year, and they came back and they won. So if they can do it, we can do it. That's what I would tell them.
And we know they can do it.
Oh, yeah.
I know. That's why, yes.
And Kenneth Crawford, he's going to rally the troops. He's going to go there and say, well, guys, that is why we deferred on the opening kickoff, and we kicked to the Tigers, because we want to be there in the second half to be able to flip things. They're going to start off with the ball in the second half. So, I know that's the message that Coach Kenneth Crawford is giving to the young men right now. Well, guys, I think I appreciate everything that you guys have done for us tonight. I don't know if we're going to have a band out here. Maybe we can pick that up. Generally we have halftime sponsors and so forth, but tonight, being a playoff game, all that changes is a little different. Tom Porter, why don't you wrap us up? What do you think how things went here in the first half?
It was a pretty good first half. Again, we've talked about all those penalties, shooting ourselves in the foot. Last week we had 20 penalties. Tonight we probably have half that already. You can't expect to beat teams that are disciplined. I'm not saying that Pinellas Park is one of those teams, but Venice and some of these other teams are so disciplined that if you make this many penalties, you're giving up opportunities, and obviously that's not going to work for us. So we're going to go ahead and jump into our halftime show here, guys, real quick. So, Bill, I'm here. What do you think about the first half here offensively? How do you think the Tigers did?
Tom, I was very impressed. The team came out ready to play tonight. You can tell that the guys are excited about being in the playoffs. Last week they showed that they're ready to get the game started on a good footing. We've been a slow starting team most of the year, but this time of year the guys are really in sync, and it was great to see.
In this last 4-game stretch, and then tonight we've started a little bit quicker than we had. Coach Marino obviously talked about that being an issue for us, and apparently offensively they figured that out, got some points on the board. Seems like we scored 14 points in the first quarter for the last 4 or 5 games, so that's great to see that. Kobe Mays, how about that guy? I don't know if you caught a couple of those catches there, but this kid is amazing. He caught one in front of me on the sidelines, and when I say that was a toe touch, edge of his fingers, if you throw a ball to a kid 10 times, he might make that play once, but Kobe made it right there. And then coming across the middle, the one-handed, I believe Rick called it the Odell Beckham Jr. catch, and that's what it looked like from the end zone. He
in traffic.
In traffic. The ball was put right where it needed to be, and he just one hand in there. I think fearless is a good word to describe that kid. He was a little slow at the beginning of the season, but he's really come on strong. We did an interview with him, and he talked about how he gives up on some plays, and he's really going to work on that. And obviously, he's been doing that. So, I'm told you have a guest tonight.
I do. Since we're in the playoffs,
wearing the wrong shirt though.
He is, but that's okay. We'll forgive him. This is Brad Patterson, who is the principal here at Pinellas Park High School, and we wanted to give our hosts, and they've been very gracious with us, so we wanted to give them an opportunity to talk a little bit about the things going on here at Pinellas Park High School. And then once we've done that, we'll get into talking to some of our senior parents that are maybe seeing their sons play for the last few weeks of the playoffs. So anyway, Mr. Patterson, thank you for having us, and we just wanted to give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about the exciting things going on here at Pinellas Park High School.
Thank you for the introduction and for the opportunity to share the wonderful things that are happening at Pinellas Park High School. It's a beautiful night for football, first of all, and a nice competitive game so far. So again, Pinellas Park High School, we're a relatively large school. We have about a little over 2,000 students. We have a criminal justice program. We also have a first responders program that works very hand in hand with our local community and provides a lot of service for our community. Kind of recently, we're very proud. We had 4 of our students, female students, that are part of our STEM club that have just been recognized of being winning. Of our students were recognized for developing an app for phones, obviously, to provide veterans easier access to resources and services for veterans. So nice being very timely with Veterans Day coming around. Our students will be able to go to Washington, D.C. and present their app to U.S. Congress, and it will be the app that's pushed out for the U.S. Department or the Veterans Affairs, Department of Veterans Affairs. So very exciting for that. Again, group of students, and very proud of our student athletes and all of our coaches for being able to participate and get us this far this evening, and we look forward to the future as well.
Well, those are certainly some great accomplishments by your school here. Interesting, you have the criminal justice program. I've never heard of that in a high school, so that's pretty unique. I don't know if you're aware, but our sheriff is in the broadcast booth tonight. I'm a captain of the sheriff's office, and we have about 10 more on the sidelines over here. So we're all about public service and law enforcement, and that's great that you guys have that. How does that work with the local technical school? Or
it's kind of the culminating event every day, or every year we have what's called Disaster Day. So we simulate a disaster. It can be sometimes we've had a plane crash in the side of the building. We've simulated having a bomb that went off in the parking lot of an amusement park. And so we work with 6 local hospitals and also with Sunstar, the local ambulance service. And they actually transport our students to local hospitals, and they go through their triage unit as well. We have 2 fire trucks and a police car, and it's hands-on every day. And you frequently see students in complete fire bunker gear going through the building, and/or we have a firearms simulation training process as well for all of the students that go through criminal justice. So it really is a neat program for our students, like I said, to be hands-on. It's about 45-50% of our student population are in one of those 2 programs, and then we also have a very strong business program as well that many of our students go through. So it's a wonderful opportunity to connect with our local community.
Absolutely. They could come right out of high school and have some real-life training going into a job that can start fairly quickly. There's been a big push for college over the years, and that's great. And some kids go that route, but also there's other kids that do the VOTEC type thing. I did it, and it worked out great for me. So that's great that we're giving those opportunities as well. That's great.
Absolutely. Thank you again for allowing me to showcase Pinellas Park High School.
Absolutely. Good to have you.
Very much for being on. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. There's a lot of great things going on at all these different schools as Jennifer comes on up to join us. A lot of great things happening at Palmetto. A lot of great things happening at Pinellas Park and all over the state of Florida. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on good at Palmetto? We just heard what's good at Pinellas Park. I mean, we can't just, we got to represent the P. So.
That there's any too much new news this week.
Too much new news? Does that mean you're not prepared for what's happening at Palmetto right now?
There's always a lot.
Always.
Standing behind us this evening, we have our cheer coach, her second season with us, and we also have 2 very proud football parents.
If Bill would stop talking to him, we could interview him. So. Come on up, guys. Bill's got a bad habit of doing that. He's such a social butterfly. He gets tied up in conversations all over the place. Oh, that's what it is. Well, these are the parents that have been flying around Florida for the last 11 weeks, so let's give them a break.
Exactly. We'll start with Miss Holly Gullett, who is a Palmetto alum herself and now has a senior here. So tell us kind of how that feels.
I'm excited. It's a little overwhelming at times because he is my baby, Luke Gullett, number 65. And but I'm very excited because he is graduating and going on to newer and bigger things, making big decisions, being that it is his senior year. But my daughter graduated here, my husband graduated here, I graduated here. A lot of my family is here tonight that graduated from Palmetto High, so it's very exciting. Very deep.
We were talking just before the half about the fact that you were not too long ago doing cartwheels down the sideline of these games. I was there. I'm a little behind you, but not much, you and your husband. So how does that feel? I mean, when you go to Palmetto, it's the same thing. You smell the grass and you feel the atmosphere. This is a great atmosphere at Pinellas Park, but it's not. It's just not. And I mentioned that early in the game, in the half. It's just not the same atmosphere.
To graduate from Palmetto High, I have a lot of pride in our high school. It's I've seen it grow through the years. I've seen the school change. It definitely looks a lot different than whenever I went to Palmetto High School. I look at somebody said of you, the auditorium, and I'm like, wait, we didn't have an auditorium whenever we went to school. We went to the gymnasium. So it's definitely changed through the years. I have a lot of what's going on with the boosters. I'm very excited about that. I hope that it continues to grow. Even after we leave, we will be supporting Palmetto High for sure, through Ace of Power, through just us. Hopefully my kids are going to support it after they leave, and our family. We have kids that are coming up. My nephew, Clayton, is going to be coming up through here, and hopefully Brody. So we're very excited. So Tiger blood definitely runs deep through the Gullet family.
You're talking about Tiger Pride, which is trademarked by the Palmetto High School Athletic Boosters, by the way. Just wanted to remind everybody, PalmettoTigers.com. Click to join Boosters if you haven't already. Okay, there's my plug.
I have to jump in real quick and just say Clayton, your nephew, is best friends with Mike. It's just how
One
it is in
town, one
Palmetto.
team, Tom.
One town, one team, apparently. Who else you got with you, Jen?
So, lead into cheerleading, this is Rachel. She is our varsity cheer coach, second season. Tell us how the girls, are they excited to be at this playoff game tonight?
They are super excited. You guys were already talking about kind of Palmetto Pride, and I'm new to the school, so when I came in last season, it amazes me. I've been coaching for a long time, and I haven't seen a squad so invested in the actual game. Like, they know what's going on. They're rooting for the boys. They get upset when things happen, and they get just as excited. So they're real happy to be here.
And they've went the extra mile to build the relationship with the players this year. I know they each were assigned a few players to give them goodie bags each week, correct?
Yeah, so they each have football buddies. They give them good bags or good luck notes, things like that. We tried to decorate the lockers for homecoming. Just little things so that they know we're out here supporting them, and that's basically our job, to make sure they know they have our support.
Yes, I saw quite the connection. It's been a little different this year that the boys are hunting the girls on Friday mornings. Yeah. Where's my goodie bags? Where's my treats? They don't find them. They get upset.
You know what's funny is you talk about the cheerleaders knowing what's going on. I remember playing football back in the day in Holly. We would be running the ball down the field, and Holly would be yelling, defense, defense. So it's good that these girls are paying attention.
Hey, I could do a round-off back handspring now? No way, but I could do it. And I love to watch the girls whenever they're doing their little stunts, so I'm very proud of those girls.
Absolutely.
So next up we have competition season and then basketball season, correct?
Yes, so we're working on our competition routine now. I'm really excited. We have a really competitive team. We have a team that's working really hard. They're always there. They're always trying. They're going extra classes. So we're putting our routine together now, and then on top of that, we have basketball season. We're going to be in the Dazzler show, things like that. So they have a lot to plan.
Exciting things ahead. Well, you're doing a great job, and I can tell you there are several Tiger fans that are complimenting the great job you're doing and see the difference. So nice job, nice job. And then is it Lee or is it Matt? Is it Lee, is it Matt? So Matt and I graduated together, another Palmetto alum who also has a son playing on the field tonight, and without fail, I always call him Matt, and he finally looks at me and goes, okay, yes, Miss Jen. Yes, Miss Jen. But tell us what it's like.
Being out here watching my son Lee play football. My uncle Larry Shackelford played on Palmetto High State Championship football team. I've got cousins that have played for Palmetto High. My brother and I played together for Palmetto High. Lee, my son, who's a junior, he's grown up loving the Tigers and everything about the Tigers. He's been coming to games since he was 1 year old. My football buddies and I that I played high school football with, we'll get together maybe once or twice a year and put on some of our old game film, and even as a relive the glory days, and even my son as a
Uncle Rico.
Exactly. And so it's just been a big part of our life. You know, if the Palmetto Tigers are playing on a Friday night, that's what our whole week is revolving around, how we can get to that and what we're going to do and what town we're going to, what we can get to eat. I mean, we talk about it all week long. I work with my father-in-law who played football for Palmetto High. We discuss it at work. We discuss it at church. We discuss it wherever we're at. So it's a big deal to us in the town, and Palmetto High has been really good over the last few years, and it's really been spiking interest, and we love it, and we think it's going to grow from here. Coach Marino's done a great job. Did I hear him say this was his 9th year? His 9th year, so I mean he's done a fantastic job, and I just really hope we can keep it rolling. This is probably our best opportunity to do something, and we've got some boys back. We're having some good quarterback play. The crop of kids coming up is going to be good, but we're set right now to roll and do something. So we're super excited about it. If we can get these, get some refs that maybe are a little fairer than some that we've seen in the last few games, they're driving us nuts in the stands. I don't know what the disparity is in penalties right now, but we're not overly happy.
You're kind of shy, ain't you? You don't talk too much, do you? You've been waiting for his time. You know, it's what you say about, you know, it's Friday night. Everybody starts feeling that, it's all about the game and watching what's going on. In this day and age, with all the technology that we have available to us, that feeling gets lost. People get caught up in, there's so many options now. When we were kids, wasn't that much going on. I mean, if you weren't, at the football game on Friday night, you might be at the Blockbuster down the street actually picking out a movie or walking the mall. I mean, there wasn't that many options. These kids these days have so many options, but I don't feel like the rest of the county really has that same feel like we do, to where it still feels like, this whole one town, one team. We're really invested in this team, and I don't know what it is. We've always been isolated by the river, and I'm thankful for that. I think it's a great thing that we have, that we are such a tight-knit community. So it's great to see you guys all still involved, kids involved, new people coming in and doing such a great job. Guys that don't like to talk on the TV very much, Looks just like his brother. He's leaning against the fence over here. Micah Matthews worked for Palmetto Police Department.
Yes.
So,
I got to say, though, his boy's a little bigger than he was in school.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a junior, correct? That's great. We were talking about the offensive line earlier, and I think losing 3 of the 5, Luke and Ethan is gone, and one of the other guys, but your son's a junior, so he's got another year, so that's great. So we're looking forward to see how that next generation of line can do, because, man, we've had a good line for a couple years now, and we're very excited about it. So.
No, Marino, he's a great coach, and he'll have him ready for next year.
Absolutely. Doesn't have a choice.
And Steve Cucci is the best O-line coach in the county, probably the state. He knows he was an excellent tight end in high school, and he's played with some awesome offensive linemen. And if there's linemen around the county looking for a place to play, want to get coached up right, want to have colleges look at you, Palmetto is the place you need to be.
And you, as a non-coach member, not any part of TigerVision, you can say that. We won't say that. I'm glad somebody said it. I didn't say it. So,
hey,
ahead.
Tom, I want to jump in to say I want to thank the Matthews family for really getting a jump start this year for all the booster additions that we're doing. His family has been instrumental in our growth and in putting our strategy together for our 5-year plan for Palmetto High School, and haven't had a real chance to thank you and your dad and everybody at the Church of the Rock and in town. This is that has a passion for our community. Absolutely. And they've really stepped up to help, and it is very much appreciated. And he we're going to have a Hall of Fame dinner this year, because our high school athletes. So we're going to plan that in the spring. We haven't set a date yet, but it will happen, and we'll get that out to the community so everybody that wants to can participate in that. So I wanted to thank you.
Every time that comes up, I always bring up, is there a sideline reporter Hall of Fame? Do we have that yet? Because, I think I'm the best sideline reporter Palmetto High School's ever had. I might be the only one, but I'm in the top 2 anyway. How about that?
You're on the perennial nomination list, Tom,
Yeah, the guy that always. All right, that's it for the half here. We're going to kick it back up to the booth to Brian and Ricky, and hopefully we have as good a second half as we did a first half. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Appreciate it.
And just a note from the booth here as we conclude the halftime show. The FHSAA is now on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Tweet us, like us, and tag on your social platforms by searching for FHSAA. keep up with teams and people who strive to make high school athletics in the state of Florida the best. Be a fan of it all by following us on social media at FHSAA. Kick it back to the booth now with Brian Varnador, Rick Wells, and Ken Burton Jr.
Thank you very much, Jordan. Well, that first half was very exciting, gentlemen. The Palmetto Tiger defense, Ken and I talked about all the offensive statistics and the great offense as well. Rick, was Johnny on the spot when we talked in the opening of the program. And it's about defense, and that Palmetto Tiger defense tonight, forcing turnovers, and so far, so good, but there's a lot of football left, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think that's the difference in the game, that the turnovers and whoever plays the best defense, and yes, lots of football, and as we saw last year, this is exactly where we were, and we were on the other side of this score, and it came down to who scored last, and that was us, so a lot ahead of us.
Absolutely, guys, and I think that it's important for this defense to come out here this first series of the second half and to keep that consistency going. This is a dynamic offense. I don't care who they played throughout the year. I don't care how many teams they blew out because of the competition. This team can play, and we have already seen that. We know what they have, and so that just really makes that first half, to me, so much more remarkable, that we were able to hold them to just 7 points. That's a great defensive game there already, but we got a lot of ball game left. We have got to, not only do we have to stop them, we have to continue to score.
I think it helps. Again, we're not worried about who they play, but I was looking. We can't see the crawl on the TigerVision, but I was looking at our opponents that are in the playoffs. All 5 of them are winning at halftime, so that is quite a remarkable thing when you look at your competition. Is still alive and well in 8A and 7A and 6A, and they're all winning.
So the halftime statistics there, which we may have had on TigerVision earlier, Pinellas 19 rushes for 117 yards, 4 for 8 passing, 29 yards, 146 total yards. Palmetto 14 rushes for 84 yards, 9 for 14 passing for 158 total yards, 242 yards. Now the Patriots elected to defer. Palmetto Tigers received the first half. I think the message has been sent by the coaching staff that there's a lot of football left, and Rafael Gonzalez is going to kick this one off there, and he has Des Bryant back there with Lawrence Toafili back there to return.
Des Bryant from Giants? Who does he play for? He used to play for the Cowboys.
Derek Bryant. He looks like Des Bryant out there. It's Derek Bryant that's going to field this one at the 5. He's at the 10. Being chased there, shakes a tackle, shakes a second tackle, and using the boundary, Tigers pull up, and there's a really good job by John Wester over there, forcing the play to the boundary, and Hayden Nickel.
John Wester has had an outstanding season, guys, and we don't talk about him enough, but from the corner spot, he has made a lot of tackles tonight. He continues to be a great tackling corner, great cover corner. He's had a couple of interceptions, and this is his senior year, but he has really, come into his own this season, just like Corey and some of the other players. But
I agree. I think since midway through the big season, he has kind of really stepped it up, and we mentioned his name way more often than we did early.
Braden Capola hands it off to Toafili. No gain on the play. Great play by Rumpf there. Dozier forced that one wide, and Rumpf was there to close it down.
Yeah, and that's going to be key here for the second half. If we can continue to win that line of scrimmage defensively and get that push that we need, and we're down this offensive line, it's really going to help our DNs and our linebackers, and we just need to continue to have that tenacity that is going to be huge in the second half.
And as long as we're ahead, it's going to force them to have to throw and take their bread and butter away from them.
Nathaniel Anderson is out here wide, and he throws it out there. Capola looking for the receiver, and great play by Mike Hill over there, number 10. And I didn't see who turned him inside, but good job.
Yeah, it's going to be Mike Goff that made the tackle. You also got John Wester that pushed him in, and it was a well-designed play. Really had two receivers
Yes,
but
I'll be let them throw horizontal all night long. They only gained a couple of yards on it. So first big test here, about 3rd and 5 for the Tiger defense.
And Brandon Capola shows he has a good arm. That's a deep out route, separates the quarterbacks. You know, a running quarterback like this, you wouldn't expect that kind of arm talent, but a good throw out there, good defense by the Tigers. 3rd and 4. They send Tolafila in motion. They run the option, turn it inside, and that's Bryant. Get the first down and more. And he's going to be tackled there by Goff.
Rick,
Waiters involved too.
I think we had him a couple of times.
We did.
And then he found a little crease somewhere, and he scooted through.
I mean, we were shoelace away of bringing him down for a loss. But that's what makes him so dynamic as a running back. You know, he's not easy to bring down. He's spinning, he's moving, he's cutting. He's just good.
He's just good.
That's all you can say about him.
He's good because the Tigers were in excellent position to stop that one. And Derek Bryant showed that he's an amazing running back. Now Tolafila is in the backfield, and they're running a single wing power play to this side, and it's Bryant around the edge, turning him inside, and that goes for a 9-yard gain. So big gains here. The Patriot offense looking good.
You know, and that's a good job. I think it was a tight end for the Patriots. He gets a good block on Derek Marino. He can't get off of it. He can't get to the outside. That's his containment. But we just got to work harder than they do and get off those blocks.
That should give Bryant 1,000. He should be right around the 1,000-yard mark now for the season.
So Sam Pasco's in the middle of the line there. And we got Dozier at DN on this side. Charles Miller on the far side. They're trying to run it wide to Tolafila. Great play there by Matthew Wyatt, 99.
Yep.
Matty
nice
Wyatt.
job by Matty Wyatt just to get in there and just to grab a foot is all he did. And
hold on for life.
Boys, I got to tell you, 52 Rump blew that play up in the backfield. That's who made that play. He really took on that blocker and took him completely out of the play, allowing the linebackers to come in and clean it up. That was awesome.
Great job, Tom. Thank you for that report from the sideline. And you can see Matty White doing well coming out of that, defensive lineman for most of the year, now playing some Mike linebacker. Did a nice job of closing that one out. Now, one single safety back there deep for the Tigers. Tolafili in motion, and he keeps it. It's Capola, nothing doing, and that's going to be Floyd Dozier Jr., number 50. Floyd Dozier Jr. with a unassisted tackle.
Capola tried to take big old Floyd on and didn't have any luck there.
Well, I mean, we know what he was doing. He thought he could take that. He could take that option and run through there, with everybody believing that Bryant's going to get the ball. But
yes,
just a good disciplined football by the defensive front of the Tigers.
Great job.
And we got the 3 and out.
Tigers staying home now. It's going to be Tolafili back there to punt this one away.
Oh,
it's
a slow
very
snap.
slow snap, and it's a very nice kick. Now, Jonte Westford, watch
Here
this.
we go.
Here we go. He's at the 30, and he slips. And he slips to the 33.
That's going to be an issue for both teams. I mean, that's just the way the field is going to play tonight. So,
it has.
And we have to understand that as these running backs and these receivers got to know that they're going to have to make their cuts a little truer. Make sure their footing's in place because there's just nothing to grab a hold of out here.
We were all out walking early in the field, and notice especially in the middle of the field from probably the 10 to the 10. That's in worst shape, and it's going to be the 12th man for the defense for the remainder of the night.
Yeah, you can see a gray, dark area picked up by Chandler Jessup on the camera here. Doing a great job tonight up here in the press box.
Chandler's awesome.
Standing on a stool all night long. 3 receivers out here wide to the right. Kobe Mays out single to the left. Marino sends Butler in motion across the formation. He throws it out there. Johnny Jones. Johnny Jones trying to outrun a tackler there. Is tackled at the line of scrimmage. Excellent play there, number 13.
Yeah, that's Byron King, the defensive end for the Patriots. 6'3", 210, great speed.
Yeah, so he did pick up about a yard on the play. Pretty good spot there. So Marino now has 3 receivers out here to the right. Kobe Mays out there wide left. Johnny Jones in the backfield. Marino changed this thing up on the sideline. Might run a screen here if they bring one of those linebackers. Let's see what coach is dialing up there. Ty Stolt. And this time they run, and that's going to be about a 2-yard gain. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and about 6.
I like the call. It's very, very safe, and moving the chain forward to make this a manageable third down.
Man, this is a very talented team. I tell you what, I'm very impressed with this Patriots team. You know, looking at the Mike linebacker there, he's really thick-looking young man, great for stopping the run. But you might want to get him out there and covering some passes. Now that one is Butler. He's got it. First down and more, makes a cut, and he go at the 50-yard line, tackled on the Palmetto Tigers bench.
It's just good hands. Bubba has such great hands, and we can say that about Bubba and Jonte and Kobe. But you know, when you have to have a first down, you can rely. If you can get close to those receivers, they're going to make a play
for you. And Anthony
you.
threw a bullet at him, and he went up there, and it looked like it carried him back and lost his momentum, and still was able to get his composure and move the chains.
So Marino with a big first down connection there to Dravian Butler. They're bringing everybody. Marino runs it, and there's a gap, and he's at the 40 and tackled at the 36-yard line is Marino.
And then there's that running quarterback that every so often decides to keep that ball. And
let me tell you, Anthony Marino is showing his toughness tonight. Not that we've ever doubted it because we've seen it all year, but he just drug a defender like a drag sled for about 5 yards.
And Anthony Marino, one thing about this RPO package, you have to have it between the ears. I mean, this guy really knows and understands how to run this offense. Now he throws the big ball out there down the sideline. It's picked off at the 5 or 7 yard line. So great play by the defender out there. So they'll have to start from the 7.
The credit to the defender. He was just in a better spot. I thought it was a great pass. Maybe trying to push it a little bit too much, but worst case scenario, we flipped the field and they're way back on the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I know.
Very
Anthony,
unfortunate.
Yeah, I know Anthony wish he had that back. You know, he's got some of the fastest receivers on the field, and I know he wanted to lead him a little bit better. I don't know which way the wind's blowing right now, but just didn't get enough air underneath it, Brian.
Yeah, and that's that 6 foot, 175-pound cornerback back there. And shows that not only has he the ability to run with the guys, but a great size at corner. Made a nice play. Ball is going to be marked. They're sorting this one out.
I think they're taking a water break, or they're doing something here.
Yeah, I think got tangled up with the chain gang over on the sideline, but everything's set for play now. Ball will be at the 7-yard line. Ball's at the 8 on the scoreboard here. Patriots look. Capola throws the hitch out. Oh, good play by Reese Lyons and nearly picked off. Reese Lyons squatted in coverage back there. Great coverage. There's that hitch. Just a fantastic play by Reese Lyons and Jonte Wester.
Or John Wester.
John Wester.
The brother of Jonte. You know,
Yes.
you're never going to go wrong. And there to try to clean up at the very last second is Matty White stretching out and diving, trying to get his hands underneath it.
John Wester. Matty Wyatt coming over the top late to try to pick that one up with Reese Lyon, and he leads the team with pass breakups. I would believe that'd be number 6 or number 7 on the season, so he shows that he has those coverage skills. 2nd and 10 for the Patriots. And now they have one receiver on each side of the formation. Kind of a traditional looking setup here, single wing. Now they throw it in, run it inside. Palmetto Tigers are all over that play, stuffing that one. So it's hard to tell on the clock here. It's either 8:35 or 6:34 on the
Or it
clock.
might be a 9, but probably not. But 8 looks like a 9 sometimes.
Don't really know if Coach Cucci made any adjustments during halftime, but the D-line is really playing remarkably well, and they are staying in their lanes, and they're not trying to get out of position here.
And the key is we're taking their running game away from them. They have a 3rd and long deep in their territory. They're good enough to run for the first down, but probably going to need to pass here.
William Rump at D end and Big Floyd Dozier Jr. sitting back there. Throws down the middle of the field, and that one's going to be nearly picked off by Mike Goff, number 10. And he was looking for number 8, and that is Rico Holmes on a post route. But that's going to bring up a punting situation for these Patriots.
Yeah, and Kenny, just like you were talking about earlier, this could really, help us out tremendously if we can, get a bad punt, because he's not a great punter to begin with. If we can just get the ball to bounce our way, we can get this thing about the 40-yard line.
Real short. We have a real short field, and take it and go up 3 scores and really take them out of their game plan.
5 minutes and 52 seconds left on the clock here.
I would go after it. Based on that last snap,
Yeah.
I would be going after
Watch
this.
Day Hill going after it here.
But don't rough him.
He gets it out of there cleanly. Decent punt this time, Jonte Wester. Watch out. He's got the ball, cuts to the left, now the middle of the field. He's at the 30, 20, all the way to
great run,
about
great
the
run.
11-yard line,
Yep.
Jonte
And
Wester.
no flags.
So a net of 3 yards on that, just what the doctor ordered.
Hey, and once again, I mean, you give all the credit to the world for the defense for pinning them back on their own, end zone basically, and allowing Jonte to come out here and just do what Jonte does and pick up just a great punt return.
So what I like about the defense tonight too, every time we've had that's the second interception. Every time tonight, both times, the defense has responded to basically wipe out the interception and give us excellent field position to finish off.
Just to step in here real quick, we have an announcement for the FHSAA. The Florida High School Athletic Association recognizes its corporate partners who help make the FHSAA football championships possible. Team IP, the official merchandising company of the FHSAA. Gatorade Third Quencher. Fueling the Future. Mainlight Events, the official photo company of the FHSAA. Balfour, the official supplier of championship rings for the FHSAA. Spectrum Sports, the official television partner of the FHSAA. Max Preps, official scores and statistics of the FHSAA. GoFan, official online ticket provider of the FHSAA. The NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHSAA. And Wilson, provider of the official game ball for the 2018 FHSAA Football Championships.
Thank you, Jordan. Back to live action. Marino takes it, hands it off to Johnny Jones, and he goes for a nice run of about 4 yards on the play.
I think a heavy dose of Johnny Jones would be just what the doctor ordered here right now.
Yeah, I totally agree, Kenny. I think the most important thing right now is to secure the football and to get some points out of this drive no matter what. And I think Johnny...
It's actually number 2 that's on the field now, guys.
That's Corian Brown.
Well,
Corian will work too.
Yes, absolutely.
Corian, the burner Brown, gets the ball. Marino keeps it, and good defense that time by the Patriot defensive line. Flag comes out. Maybe a late hit on that one, or either that or a crackback.
Block. Yes.
So we'll see how they sort this one out. This is going to be a big one. I was just about to say, Rick, the one thing you don't want to do in this area is get a penalty.
Right. And then there comes the flag.
The play before that, Curtis Thomas was getting locked up out there with Eric Jackson, the cornerback. And I was thinking, oh, boy, let's not get any personal fouls here. So here's the call from the officiating crew. Personal foul against the Patriots. So they called him.
Is that a first down, Brian?
Roughing the Marino, and that's going to be a first down for your Tigers.
Well, I'm not really sure if you can rough the passer when he's running. I'm not really sure what the call would have been on or who it would have been on. I'm just happy that's not us.
Yes.
And I think that
I'm going to take this one.
But you know what, gentlemen? I mean, this is maybe the 6th or 7th personal foul we've had this game.
So it shows 2 on the marker. And now it's showing 3 on the marker. So we've gone from first to second to third here after the play. They're going to sort this one out. It should have been half the distance to the goal line. So if you know, personal foul, 15 yards, and that's going to be 7.5 from that spot. Yes. Ken, help our brother out here. What we got?
I'm lost. You're right about the 7.5.
All right, gotcha.
So the scoreboard's saying 3rd and 3.
Got one ref calling second, one ref calling third. Coach Marino wants first.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am totally confused. And
it should be 3rd down.
Well, that's what the marker shows.
That's what the marker saying across the field. They've got it right. The officiating crew up here in the box, these guys are awesome. They've got it set at 3, so it's third and goal. Ball's on the 4. Marino takes a low snap, hands it to Corian Brown, running hard in the middle of the field. Takes a couple big hits there, but it's going to be spotted there. I expect to see the field goal team trot in there. This is basically an extra point.
I'm not seeing it, and I tell you,
it might be worth the gamble to go up
No,
3
they're kicking
scores.
it.
Are they going to kick it and take the points?
He thought about it. He looked at his plays, and he said, nah, let's go ahead and kick it.
You know, I think Coach
Smart
Marino,
play.
yeah, Coach Marino is just thinking back on some of the plays earlier this year when, you know, he maybe he should have kicked it. You know, he trusted the offense to get in. It didn't happen, so hopefully it'll work out here.
Braden River being a prime example.
Well, you know what, though? Marino knows the playoff schedule and everything in that, you know, and he knows even with that game, with the tough competition we play, that he's going to be right here for the playoffs. And so there's a field goal is good by Gonzalez.
So it's a 3-point score, regardless,
right,
and that's
right.
what we want.
That's huge. That's huge. When you put points on the board right now with, you know, 4:04 left in the third quarter, I mean, that's a big deal.
So Rafael Gonzalez, you know, again, excellent snap there by Braden Nickel. Spot by Anthony Marino, kick by Rafael Gonzalez. Now that was a big one, you know.
Huge.
24-7. That is a huge conversion here for the Tigers.
And that whole the special teams with the PAT field goal, they have. And I didn't want to jinx him, but they have been getting better and better. He has made all of his placements here in the last several weeks. So
yeah, and Rafael has really been a great weapon for us all year, and we know how critical just the extra points can become at the end of a ball game. And
early in the year, we were struggling with him hooking to the right or the left, and it seems that has been corrected, and he has been.
So you give a lot of credit to Coach Robbie Stevenson
absolutely.
for the work they've done, the time they put in to make him a very complete kicker.
Now that is a very dark-looking spot on the field where he'll take his plant foot. He drives the ball. It's a high kick, and it's going to be fielded at the 1-yard line. It's going to be Bryant. He's up to the 10, 15, slips on the cut.
There's that 12th man again.
Man.
Boy, he took a nasty shot
I tell you, no
from
matter
the field.
This field has been an equal opportunity offender.
Yes.
Fellas, both of those gunners slipped, and the guy running the ball slipped, and nobody touched any of the 3 of them. They all just fell down altogether.
Yeah, I really think for the skilled athletes, they need to make their moves outside of the hash marks if they're going to have any luck. I think just anything inside of the hash marks, they're going to have to be north and south.
And that's a great point, Kenny. If you think about Corian on that last drive, well, you can't get any footing. So you can't get any push from your legs. They're of no help to you trying to drive through the tackle.
So here, footing is an issue here. Patriots come out with 2 receivers wide. Now Coppola looks at the middle route, and it's going to be thrown almost a completion there. Pretty high throw, but it was a catchable ball there, and that was Rico Holmes across the middle.
You know, they have thrown the ball more tonight than they only came in here, passing a couple 111 times maybe.
But like we talked about, Kenny, that's because they're behind.
Right. They're completely out of their game plan.
Hey, guys, got a little clarification on that personal foul. It was unnecessary roughness.
So okay.
A guy jumped in the pile at the end of the play. It was dead ball.
Okay. Great job, Tom. And one thing we've seen in these playoff games, you know, throughout the regular season, you know, the referees here, the FHSAA, they have some good ones out here. Look at that cut by Bryant, and another cut and tackled there. But great job by the defense over there. Involved in that was Rump was out there wide, and you had how about Sam Pasco, number 70, out there on the boundary.
And let's talk about Sam, because Sam has been basically this utility player that they use on offense for the O-line. They'll move him to the D-line. He's a senior this year, but you know, he's just been a help on both of the lines. So
and you're going to need players like that as you get deep into the playoffs, as get bumps and bruises, and you just need to get your best players out there.
All right, now he comes, and there's a nice out there to Bryant, shakes a tackle, and he goes for the first down.
The only good thing I will say about this,
flag.
Now who's that
after the fact?
Is that going to be on us?
That might be a targeting or something over there.
They came very late.
Very late on that.
I think it might be a little taunting there, guys. There was a lot of helmet-to-helmet contact there, but he jumped up and was kind of dancing a little bit.
One of our defenders.
Okay, looks like they might wave this flag off. Let's see. Sideline warning. What do we got over there? Let's see.
Here we go.
All right.
It's going to be on the Patriots.
Personal foul on the Patriots.
So what I was going to say before that, I mean, right now, knock on wood, the breaks are going our way, but the longer that we can, you know, keep them out of the end zone, we can keep them in a position where they're just trying to dink and dunk and we're stopping the run, it helps us because we're getting down to, 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. So, they've got to score 3 times.
And I tell you, one young man that's going to be tired tonight is Matthews. Number 74, he's playing offensive tackle all night, and he has been out there on the defensive line.
These are one-game seasons. In a playoff, you're going to, when necessary, you're going to want your best 11 out there, and that will require some of our guys having to play both ways, even at 7A level.
Yeah, so the flag was thrown after the play. They're still going to have the first down.
Right.
It's just going to be first and 25, roughly.
First and 25, because they got Derek Bryant.
Well,
and so it's first and 10.
First and 10, yeah.
So yeah, it should be first and 25. Because it was after the play. That's okay. So there's an incomplete pass. First and 10, or second and 10 now for the Patriots. And you know what happened there? The receiver slipped coming out of his break. And when we had that 32-yard punt. With Jonte Wester with a 29-yard return, and he's got a high GPA, and he was in the middle of that dark area on the field, and normally he does this massive cut, but you could see him throttle down a little bit before he made, and that was amazing.
And that's what you have to do. You have to work with the elements, with the weather, or with the field conditions to make it happen.
2:56 on the clock. Hands the ball off the middle. Great play by Rumpf in the middle of the field. 52. Ball's out late, but that's going to be after the whistle had blown. So the middle of the line, Rumpf out there. William Rumpf, number 52, just having a fine game tonight. And Matthews again clogging up things in the middle.
Absolutely. And they're in an obvious passing situation here, so we'll see what Coach Cucci dials up.
Well, I think if they're gonna throw the ball, they're gonna try to either
get it to Bryant.
Well, they're gonna get that slot receiver. They're gonna try to get like some type of a slant route because the corners are on them.
Yes.
So they're attacking the linebackers.
Yeah, Rico Holmes and Nathaniel Anderson, and you might want to just clear those guys out and throw a screen maybe to Bryant. Let's see what they do as they roll it out, throws it out there, and it's caught and tackled, and it's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. It's going to be an interesting call here because the ball
they may be in 4-down territory.
Yeah, that's a great tackle once again by Day Hill. I mean, right there to right after the catch keeps them right on the spot. So
number 3, Damian Hill with a great tackle. 4th and 1 on the marker here, and it's a long one.
Goodness, our defense has had a lot of exposure to these short ones with Venice a few weeks ago, so we should be ready for anything they throw at us.
This would be a huge stop if we can
absolutely
stay on sides, play fundamental. 2 seconds left on the play clock. He gets it off. Toafili, middle field, and boy, he nearly fumbled that one again, but was able to gather the ball first down. Tell you what, a minute and 12 here.
If it's going to take them to get 4 downs to get a first down, that's going to play into our advantage here.
I'll tell you, it's always dangerous, though, when you have that 1 yard to pick up because everybody's just piled up, and if there's a hole anywhere, the guy's going to be gone.
They can break it. You're right, Tom Porter.
And they, with Bryant and with Toafili, those are home run hitters. They can crease you and take it the distance on any play. Capola looks. Oh, look at that fake by Capola. He's at the 40.
That's a hold right there, but he
got away with it.
Ellison was held on the play. No call.
Number 8, the one that caught that.
Hill.
Was it Day Hill that was held?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. But he stepped out about 3 yards short of the first down, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 7. Now, what a nice play by Capola to gather that football. He was throwing it, clutched, and a lot of times the ball slips out of your hand. He was able to, gather that, and then a nice run. Heads-up play by Capola. And I think, this young man, he could quarterback a passing team. He has some skills also. Brandon Capola drops back, looks, running the sideline, and there's a hold out there, but not called. Brandon Waiters was locked up with the receiver over there. He steps out, and it's going to be.
It's like you got
just
enough.
Enough.
Yes.
I'll tell you this: for the most part, these referees are letting these boys play.
Yes.
You know, I mean, they're not. You can't argue with that. We've had some penalties that they had to call. They had no choice that have been, unsportsmanlike or personal foul type calls, but they haven't been flag happy. So
I'm down with it.
Yeah, you're in the playoffs. Let them play.
It's a football game. Let them play some tackle football out there. Now it's 1st and 10. Capola drops back. He rolls. He's at 35, being chased. Throws it out there late, and a wide open receiver. Great footwork over there on the sideline, but he's out of bounds. I don't know. Now we're way well. That was Rico Holmes out there.
Tom, did you see it?
Yeah, he was definitely out of bounds, both feet.
Okay, Tom. Good look over there by Tom Porter, the sideline reporter.
Well, I earlier we didn't make the call, but Day-Day Hill came out of the game. I think he hurt himself, or it looked like maybe he had a cramp on that play, which he was held. And now I think we've got number 24. Is that Crawford in the game?
Yes.
So Crawford over there, pretty good coverage over there.
They brought John Wester over to the right side to take Day-Day's spot, put Crawford over there in Johnny's spot.
Oh, interesting wrinkle over here to the left. John Wester's back there, 10 yards off of that. They looked, and Capola throws it out there to Bryant. He shakes the tackle, goes for about a 7-yard gain, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 3.
Ricky, you were exactly right on that. Day-Day Hill's over here getting stretched, and doesn't look like he's feeling too good about it.
All right, Tom.
They're moving the ball down the field, but the clock is soon become this. If they get this thing off,
we're down to 9 seconds.
It's becoming their enemy.
The 3rd quarter. Brandon Capola looks, and there's a stoppage of play with 3 seconds on the clock. Palmetto with a timeout with 3 seconds
I think
left.
Coach Cucci, he saw a look he didn't like. He wasn't happy where his defensive alignment, so he called a quick timeout to get them in the right position. So, look, they are obviously breaking away from the running game right now, and so we've got to adapt. We've got to be in the right spot because they're chewing us up a little bit. Basically, these short passes are just like some of the runs they were having earlier. If you look at the time they have spent on this drive, they have just barely made it over the 50-yard line.
Yeah. So just a reminder here, for the latest official news about Florida high school sports, including results of all rounds in the 2018 FHSAA Football Championships, visit FHSAA.org, the official website of the Florida High School Athletic Association. That's www.fhsaa.org. Catch live and on-demand postseason coverage of Florida high school sports at www.nfhsnetwork.com. Brought to you by the NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHSAA.
All right, and so 3rd and 3, 3 seconds on the clock here for Capola. This time he hands that one off, and there's that back. He runs hard. Ball's on the ground and still on the ground.
Palmetto ball.
It's picked up, and that's going to be Palmetto ball.
Got to be.
That ball was out, Tom. I got a good vantage point.
Oh, they're calling it dead? Are they calling
No.
There we go.
Ball.
All right, that's Mike Goff that came up with that one. Mike Goff.
So another turnover. So what you saw was Tuafili in the hole.
Carrying it loose.
So he's lost 2, and then the one earlier in the game that popped up 15 feet in the air. Great job with the defense.
The defense, up to this point, 3 quarters of play, they've been dynamic. They have caused turnovers. They've caused turnovers that we didn't recover, but they're knocking that ball loose. They are stopping the run game. They are forcing the Patriot offense to throw the ball a lot more than they want to, because when you do that, you take away those dynamic running backs that they have. But they are in catch-up mode here in the 4th quarter.
Which they're not used to.
No, down 24-7. This is very, very unfamiliar territory for them. And if we can get a score here, we can pretty much
put this thing away.
Football fans, the best games are yet to be played. Make plans to attend the 2018 Florida High School Football State Championship games hosted by the Central Florida Sports Commission. The intense action takes place at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, December 6th through the 8th. Tickets start as low as $12. Come out and watch the best in Florida high school football play. Visit the FHSAA website at FHSAA.org for more information.
Thank you, Jordan. Now, Marino has one back in the backfield with him and 2 receivers. I look for Palmetto Tigers to start a very run-heavy package here, and that's going to be Corian Brown. Look at the speed, and he goes for very close to the first down.
I think a taste of Corian Brown for the fourth quarter is exactly what we need because he's fresh. We know how quickly he can accelerate through the hole. You have to imagine that defensively the Patriots are getting a little bit tired. And, they're out here on the field a lot more than they're used to, Kenny. It is a very humid night as well.
Second short, Corian Brown, middle of the field, plunging forward, almost popped that one out of there. First down, great run, Corian Brown.
Yes, the key, he's moving those chains there. Only needed to pick up a yard, picked up 5 or 6, and now we're across the 50, and
this is a good time for the offensive line to really enforce.
Take over.
Just take over, man. Just put their will in it.
Now Marino throws it out there, and that's Wester looking for the crease. First down, and there's that blazing speed, and he is tackled at the 20-yard line, looked like.
So you run, Kenny. All of a sudden you throw a quick pass out past to Jonte Wester, and all of a sudden you're like, where did he come from?
Yeah, and like we've said earlier, they've practiced against speed because they have it on their side, but not with 4 or 5 players at the same time.
All right, Curtis Thomas is out here wide to the left. They get him offside, so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
They're falling apart out there.
I'm not so sure that the referee would have called that if he wouldn't have reacted the way that he did.
Yeah, you're right. He kind of gave it away. If he'd have just jumped back on side, 50-50.
And that was big Nicholas Sims, the very talented nose guard. He's probably nursing that injury that he had in the first quarter.
Not 100%.
He's not 100%, but he's playing tough out there. Corian Brown takes a big hit, slices off of it, goes forward. He goes for about a 3-yard gain, and he's tackled there by Alvin Mathis.
I really like this play call here because every time that you're able to pick up 2, 3, 4 yards in a carry, not only are you running time off that clock, Kenny and Brian, but also this defense is starting to get a little down.
Corian Brown out there with fresh legs. 2 receivers on both sides. Marino in the backfield, out of the shotgun. Pinellas Park creeping the line of scrimmage. Marino checking off. No play clock here, but clock is winding down. And here he goes, throws it out there to Corian Brown. Here comes the speed. And look at it. And he's got the 10-yard line, so he's got the first down. Corian, I think they were expecting him to set it up and start to shake, and he just
put his shoulder down. Put his shoulder down at the end. But that was a great timing by Anthony. He held that ball just long enough. He had a DN about to maul him, and he gets rid of that ball.
So the next time he just tucks it and takes it in.
I've been to a lot of press boxes. These guys on the clock up here,
they're
very impressive. Very impressive.
A great crew up here.
This, would be game number 12, and this is the best crew that we've seen. Now Corian slips on his cut.
There's that 12th man again. Field.
It's
in the middle of the field.
Yeah, it's taking everyone down tonight, Kenny, and that's the one thing that hurts them just as bad as it hurts us.
It has been equal opportunity.
If he's able to get his footing there, he picks up 5 yards.
And what's nice about this, I'm sure Johnny Jones is frustrated, over there because he's such a talented back. But what's nice about this next week's game, if Palmetto goes forward, Johnny Jones will be extremely fresh. Corian Brown driving forward, carrying people.
Oh, he's got to celebrate.
About the half yard.
Half yard.
All right, look at Tom Porter over there on the goal line. Maybe Chandler Jessup can get a shot at Tom. He's going to be looking down that line.
Looking down for another Anthony Marino touchdown right here, guys.
All right, Anthony Marino runs left, driving forward. Good block there by Gullett, and he is in for the touchdown.
All right.
Good call, Rick. And we've seen that Marino with a quarterback keeper to the left side of that offense. And really, the Tigers have a 30-7 lead at this point.
That is his. That's his first rushing touchdown tonight. First or second?
That is his first, I do believe,
so that's his 14th for the year.
I tell you what, guys, what a drive, to be able to recover that fumble and then to score off of it. It's just a huge play here.
That just zaps any energy that they may have.
So the Tigers
They're trying to just get their players on the field. What are they doing?
They have
They're
only
walking off.
Well, I tell you what.
Too many players on the
melting
field.
down.
There's a meltdown.
Yeah.
Actually, the ref made one of the guys walk off the field. He took his helmet off, throwing a fit, and the coaches weren't paying attention, so nobody was replacing him.
Okay, so here's what happened. A great job, Tom.
Yes.
And I didn't see his helmet had come on. The player took his helmet off, put the helmet back on. The referee sent him off the field. You know, the Patriots knew they had 11 out there, and just a great job, Tom. Great job. We're gonna keep you around, man.
Can't beat the pay, buddy.
No, you can't.
This is, once again, we can talk about this all night. They have never felt this before.
Right.
This entire season has been blowout after blowout, and they
Four
have
shutouts.
They have not led this game.
Yes.
Well, there's something to be said. You know, Coach Marino's philosophy has always been, you know, play the toughest competition you can to be ready for those big games. And obviously, you know, Pinellas Park had the opposite idea.
And there's a great snap by Braden Nickel. And the spot by Anthony Marino. Kick by Rafael Gonzalez. Your Palmetto Tigers lead this one 31-7. And the clock is winding down. Really excellent job of the Palmetto Tigers. You know, one thing we talked about, the strength of schedule with the Palmetto Tigers, which really helped us. And Kenny, talk about the situation that occurred. You know, we thought we'd be playing Venice this weekend. What happened with?
It's a game of points.
I was all discombobulated.
I was discombobulated too. And who would have thought Tampa Bay Tech, who was the 6th seed 2 weeks ago, they were sitting at number 2, would lose 3 games in a row, and because we played and picked up 58 points last week, and we were down 22 points and netted 23, so we ended up with 401. The slide in, the 7th seed, they ended up with 400, and they had to go play Venice tonight.
And we made it by this
1
game.
point.
1 point.
Wow.
Yes, we would have been playing Venice.
You know, Kenny, I've called you brother because we grew up in the same neighborhood, and basically, you know, we're like brothers, and you're always there for the math for me. I appreciate that. Now look at this, a short kick. One's got it, and there is a tackle there by Braden Nickel. Braden Nickel, number 28. He's a long snapper. What a fantastic tackle. And that looked like that one might go.
So
yeah, he was
because
impressive.
hey, well, he was he had the sails behind him, and he is a big man at 6'1", 201.
Running downhill.
We saw him out there before the game with his shirt off as he was practicing. He is impressive.
Yeah, and that young man there, you know, I was looking at the offensive stats, but I think he goes, you know, for some ridiculous yards when he does play at tailback. I think he runs for, you know,
like everybody else,
like
12 yards a carry.
12, 15 yards a carry.
He just looks impressive doing it.
Nice throw. And Toafili just sails right through his hands. He looked down to see where he was going to cut, took his eyes off the ball. So that brings up a 2nd and 10. Clock is stopped here at, I believe, 9:11.
And that could be where, again, the field, he's worried about his footing, and you got to catch the ball as well, too, and the field's wreaking havoc.
Yeah, we do have Day-Day Hill back there. He's at the right corner position now for the Tiger defense, so that's a good sign. So hopefully he just had a cramp or something.
So here with 9:11 on the clock. And there's Bryant, and he slips on a cut. Man, that guy's something. He slipped on his cut, and he should have been tackled by the linebacker there. I guess that Waiters is probably going to get credit for the tackle there, but Charles Miller will get credit for the tackle there, but another slip.
And again, it's putting them, with the defense playing well tonight, it puts them at a 3rd and long, and at this juncture in the game, they've got to throw it.
All right, now Capola is going to look things over. 2 receivers on each side. In the backfield is Bryant. He throws it out there. Nice throw to Bryant. Big hit. Shakes it off. Coming up, John Wester.
John Wester just annihilated him. My goodness.
Number 21.
Ouch.
John
He'll
Wester.
be feeling that one later tonight.
The senior. You know, John Wester is showing he's a senior. He's got, I think, 2 younger brothers in the program. I saw another Wester on the roster, Jonte Wester. But the senior here, he wants to play next Friday night, and it's evident tonight.
Absolutely.
He's putting it all out on the field tonight.
He is really coming to his own playing that corner.
Capola with a 4th and 4, a big one for the Palmetto Tigers. They're coming. Here comes Wyatt, and he throws it out there. Nice throw, and he dropped it.
We got lucky because Day Hill slipped as he's trying to make his cut to go cover the receiver. So a big break for the Tiger defense. They would have picked up that first down.
And Toffoli, the running back,
was that
Lawrence Toffoli dropped one as well during this drive too.
And I believe
you've got to catch the ball to advance it.
Number 8, Rico Holmes, and with the Tiger defender slipping wide open out there, and unable to make the connection. So the Palmetto Tigers are going to come out, and I expect a lot of run-heavy offense. But the thing with Anthony Marino, and I remember this watching Spurrier teams. He goes to the openings with it. He has full flexibility, and if they're jammed up with a 5-man front and a run, he will throw the ball.
Absolutely.
He's basing this offense on what he's seeing on the other side. So if you think the Tigers are going to take Johnny Jones, run up the field for the rest of the game, if there's a heavy front up there, you know, Anthony doesn't know anything different than to check to a play that's going to be successful.
So it looks like the number 13, Byron King for Pinellas, the one that was called for taking his helmet off, I think he just walked out of the game, and that was the stoppage that you had there. They didn't have enough players on the field, so now see number 11, Brennan Scott in there, trying to fill in.
So they're dealing with
if you're going to come out, you got to let your
raw
sub
emotion.
You got to let your sub. Hey, get in there for me.
Well, if people will say, "Show me a happy loser, and I'll show you a loser," and these guys are very, very frustrated, and something.
Yeah, you can see it on
the
sidelines and their body language.
So now
they've had a heck of a season, that's for sure.
We got Johnny Jones back in there, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
There's Johnny Jones.
Gonna have a heavy dose.
And press coverage over here on Kobe Mays. 3 receivers, big cushion out there to the middle. Johnny Jones runs it hard, and he goes for 6 yards on the play. We'll call it 4 yards.
So they're going to set them up there, and they're going to put those trips out there, and if they try to get too crazy in the box, we'll just throw out there.
It, yes, because we can, and we have.
Now Matthews, the left tackle out there. What a game by Matthews tonight. Probably the most he's played in a football game. He's only a junior, but 6'4", 290 pounds. And on human night, and tonight it's pretty muggy now. At 6'4", 290 to play as much football as still looking remarkably fresh out there.
I saw a tweet from Coach Marino today. Another offensive lineman, Ethan Ingram, was selected to the FHSAA All-Star game, which will be held next month in Central Florida, the Villages. They have their Coach Marino has been a coach there, but Coach Binky Waldrop is the head coach for the South, and he was so impressed with Ethan just annihilating his players last week. And he doesn't have all the measurables, and that's what they look for these. They want the D1s with the measurables, but he says, I want players like that on my team, so he will be playing in that game coming up next month at some point.
Well, guys, talking about offensive linemen, we look at all the skill guys in the eye candy out there, but it comes down to number 53, Ryan Cotton out there, number 65, which is Luke Gullett out there, Ethan Ingram. We've seen Michael St. Justy out there tonight. Those guys are doing just a fantastic job at the line of scrimmage tonight. Johnny Jones gets the ball, trying to get outside, and does, and still going, and he's got the first down, and he got a late hit on the sideline. So that's, the Pinellas Park players looking very, very frustrated here as Palmetto Tigers driving here. Clock winding down on the season here at this point, 31-7. So
they are looking frustrated. They're looking tired out there. And then you got Johnny Jones, who is fresh and taking it outside, and it's just
Johnny Jones, green as a bean, and just coming in green and fresh.
Just smelling that end zone.
That's a tough running Johnny Jones. One of my favorite backs here. Probably one of the hardest.
Runners. He's your north-south guy. He fit the veer perfect, but. It showed some impressive speed getting outside there, which we've seen him do it.
Johnny's been running over. He's been running over players since Pop Warner.
Yes.
He's never changed his style. He's gotten stronger and faster.
He runs with...
I saw him pregame. He is really...
he's put together.
Yes, he is.
A specimen. And he runs with extremely low leverage. Watch him, the body lean, as he gets to the line of scrimmage. So he has a jump cut, and he's going to go down for about a half-yard loss. Clock continues to wind here.
Yeah, and that's all we're going to do here. We just let that clock run, and
no hurry. We've got the ball on their side of the field and just chewing up this clock.
Johnny's going to get a breather, going to bring Corian Brown back in.
Oh, no, now it's the fast guy in there.
Corian Brown in the backfield. Fast A and Fast B. They're all fast. Now you look for the pitch on this play. Look at Corian on the option to the left-hand side out of this wrinkle here. Now rolling over there is Jarvis Scruggs, number 5. And so there's a stop of play.
I know who that deputy is charging.
Okay, there's a deputy on the field. Referees are talking to someone on the field there.
He wasn't upset. He was upset that one of the players was yelling at somebody on the sideline, and I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if somebody was getting arrested or what. I think he's a little too invested in this game.
All right.
Wow, he's very animated over there.
All right, so it's when they sort this out, it's going to be Palmetto Tigers lead this one 31-7. And
on that side,
so not sure what the situation is here.
Well, we wouldn't want anything to be normal.
No, this was going on extremely normal. Now cooler heads
we have no idea what happened.
Don't want to speculate there. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 11 here for the Tigers. Jonte Wester in the slot, and Curtis Thomas out here wide to the left. Corian Brown in the backfield.
That's what we needed to hear. Let's get this thing going here.
Let's have a ball game here. So here, Marino with Corian Brown in the backfield. Look at Jonte Wester over there. He wants to run that post corner route. Well, let's see what we've got. Corian Brown. Wester wants the ball out there wide in the slot. Curtis Thomas out wide on the edge. Marino takes it, and he hands it off to Corian Brown, and he goes for about a 6-7 yard gain on the play. Clock continues to wind down. 6:11 on the clock.
I know we've got 6 minutes left, but what can you say? Just an impressive game. Very impressive game by the Tiger team tonight. Offensively, defensively, just outstanding.
Everything. Special teams dominated in all phases.
So 5:47 on the clock and counting down. 5:47 on the clock. Marino has Corian Brown in the backfield.
You feel bad for these young men, for the Patriots. Just a great year for them, 10-0 until tonight, and obviously they are going to be upset about losing this playoff game, especially after what happened last year. Well, that's coming in here and taking it from them.
They only have 6 seniors on this team, so they're we haven't seen the last.
What a great football team, though.
Yes.
Oh, these guys, they'll be back next year again. And they're extremely talented. Corian Brown, middle of the field, running hard, touchdown Brown.
Touchdown, Brown.
I think there you just saw just a very tired and rejected defense there for the Patriots.
And a very hungry running back that was smelling the end zone.
As defensive assistant head coach, defensive coordinator Matt Brazelton leads the box here high above Pinellas Park Stadium, headed for the field. Looks like the Palmetto Tigers have this one locked up right now, leading 37-7.
I think looks like we've got some personnel issues too as we try to get somebody
here we go.
out there. There we go. Hey, I'm going to tell you tonight that my MVP for tonight is the entire defensive unit for the Tigers.
You're right.
Oh, yes.
You're right. I knew as the kick is up by Gonzalez and it goes through, and I knew when Kenny and I opened up the program and we were talking about all the offensive fireworks, and Rick came on and started talking about defense. Again, defense wins championship.
That's right.
Offense sells the tickets, and tonight it was a defensive. It was an A+ out there.
And
for the
we
Palmetto
have had
Tigers.
the fireworks on our offense, but again, it came down to which defense was going to play better tonight. And again, as you said, the MVP. It has to be our defense to allow this team that has scored 400-some points, just one touchdown tonight.
Let me tell you what's impressive is that even that series where they scored their 7 points, it didn't come easy. You didn't have any long runs tonight. You didn't have any breakaway, receivers. They had to work for every inch all night long, and just an outstanding job by the defensive unit.
They came in averaging 12 yards a carry for the whole season. Our offense that can score well was only averaging 7. They definitely have not averaged 12.
And kudos to Coach Marino, the way it's played out the last 2 years. They talk about why does this Palmetto Tiger team play up and play so much extreme competition. When we're out there, technically Palmetto would be a 6A school.
Yes.
But because of traveling consideration, we're playing 7A, and we're playing 8A school, and people talk about why are you playing all those tough teams? Well, back-to-back, Charlotte.
Who's winning tonight.
Charlotte, who's winning tonight.
Winning their region.
Runs the wing tee, single wing, and back-to-back 2 years in a row, you have 2 weeks to prepare for this type of offense. So kudos to the coach, scheduling teams the way we schedule programs. Now Bryant fields this one, looking for the edge. He's at the 35. Watch out. And he's at the 40. Look at that. Good gracious. Number 14 runs him down. Xavier Walker.
That's impressive.
What? And that was not outrunning, having a big angle. That's a foot race.
That's track speed.
That is shocking.
Track speed.
Xavier Walker showed tremendous speed to catch one of the fastest guys you will see in high school football.
Yes.
That's some good stuff.
And even if he scored, it would have been meaningless as far as the overall outcome, but they didn't want him to score, and they stayed with it and fought and caught him.
Wow. What a play by Xavier Walker.
This is their best starting field position all night.
Yeah, so they have this one at the 28-yard line. And there's Braden Nickel, the long snapper, covering the slot receiver. He's covering Bryant out there. And that is a carry of about 4 yards on the play.
And they can run all they want because it's just going to turn out to be their disadvantage. The clock's their biggest enemy now.
And that was Nathaniel Anderson. We haven't seen him a lot at the running back. He'll carry the ball out of the slot, out of the slot back position on the play around, coming around the corner across the formations. But it looked like he lined up in the backfield that time. Looked like a pretty good run. Now, all right, so we have a Wildcat formation. It's Bryant back there, and he gets tackled. Nice play. Knifing a cough was Avendana, I believe. Let's check the number on that. Number 31, which is Gabe Avendano.
Well, what they've done, the Tigers have put their second team defensive unit. And
this is how you build a program. You get in the playoffs. A lot of the same teams that made it last year are in this year, but you get those 14 JV kids up and get them exposed to this. Let them get out here and play in a playoff game and get that valuable experience. Extra weeks of practice all benefits you down the road.
Wildcat formation by Bryant. Oh, good block out there.
Nice.
And he's down to the 10-yard line, driving hard. He's going to be tackled about the 6. Man, great run by Bryant on that. Great block by the tight end or the wingback.
Yeah, they're still fighting. Good credit to Pinellas Park.
2 minutes and 43 seconds remain in this one. Palmetto Tigers leading 38-7. It's 3:43 on the clock. Here in the press box, we have to look at the little thing on the score because the clock is a little different, and we've got so much help here. It's been great tonight. Appreciate it. Yep. Now Derek Bryant takes it, runs forward, and they're going to run this Wildcat formation.
So they can't. They need to pass. They haven't been able to run, so they run the Wildcat, which is. We didn't. I don't know if you saw any film on that.
Well, I mean, they don't even have their quarterback in here.
Yeah, they just lining up and running.
No, the quarterbacks that they have a second quarterback that has 1 attempt with 0 completion. So other than Capola, from what I was able to pick up, there's been 1 pass other than Capola this year. So good. Yeah, good point, Kim. Now Toafila. Lawrence Toafila, LT in the backfield and driving forward, and a gain of about 2 on the play.
And we know it's coming, so it doesn't have the surprise element like Venice did on us 6 times.
Well, this is just basically running the clock out on the other side. That's all they're doing. I mean, they're running the ball, and they may have a few of their subs in there as well. I've seen some clean jersey on the Patriots side, so.
You know, and that was Miles Ormsby before on that tackle. And when I called Gabe Avendano earlier, number 31, it was probably Miles Ormsby earlier. So I wanted to correct that. But, you know, Miles stepping up and making some plays along the defensive line. Toafili in the backfield. He looks. He's rolling to the right. And he's got the edge. Student body right for the score.
That's what we saw a lot of film on that play. I know you talked about it on the way over here. That student body, right? That's what they were doing all year, and they got away with one there.
Yeah, not much to be excited about. You know, it
looked good.
You know, it was good practice for next season, and got some of those younger players in there on both sides.
And so now
is that a true 209?
That is a true 209. Let me peek over there, and it indeed is a 209 on the clock. Willoughby will hold this one. Myrick to kick. Long snap is by Sims. Nice snap. Kick is up, and it is good. So there you have it with 209. Palmetto Tigers still ahead in this one, 38-14.
So I would imagine you're going to see an onside. What do you think? What do you think, or no?
Well,
I would think so.
I mean, why not? Why
they
not?
have nothing to lose, and we can if they're out of timeouts, we can just run the clock out. So yeah.
All right, with 2:09, the Palmetto Tigers here. Onside kick is going to come, and so what you'll see the hands guys. You know, maybe not the solid blockers, the hand guys. Are going to come in here, and you just got to field the ball cleanly, and this game's over.
I'm sure that's what Coach Stevenson is talking about right now. You know, just recover the ball. And
on both sides of the field, the coaches are giving instructions, so they're expecting it and anticipating it.
All right, so going to be approaching this one is Robert Myrick, the kicker. He's a 5'11", 165-pounder. And across the line there, you see a lot of DBs and receiver types. You got Adravian Butler, Kobe Mays out there.
Kobe Mays is out there.
Reese Lyons out there. Day Hill. Man, that's
our ball hawkers.
They know what's coming. We got to get somebody in that middle, though.
Mike Goff So you got a bunch of fast playmakers along the line of scrimmage. And then he's going to kick this one, kicks it away. Now watch out for a return. Going back there, that's Sajel Hickson. Slips twice, gathers himself, shakes the tackle, and slips again. And coming across there, and that's going to 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Sajel, that was some balance.
That was some balance. It took on the field 3 times, and the field finally got the best of him. But decent return. We wasn't expecting a lot with our hands group in there.
So, Kenny, after we thought we knew who we were going to play last week, do you know who we may be playing next week?
Yes. I've been following it. We can't see the crawl. I know all the teams that we were expecting to win. It looks like we're going to be headed to Bloomingdale, which is over in the Valrico, Brandon area, playing District 10. The District 10 runner-up, one of 3 teams that made it out of their district, just like 3 from ours. So the 6th seed and the 7th seed are going to win tonight in this region.
So the Tigers are going to square off against the Bloomingdale Bulls.
Yes.
The Bulls.
They're beating the Riverdale Raiders of Fort Myers 38-8.
Diego is now the quarterback, number 32, hands the ball off there and goes for about a 4-yard gain on the play.
And in the other semifinal of 7A Region 3, it's going to be most likely 2 of our district foes, Braden River, traveling down to Venice.
Now here with 1:38, you think let's hand the ball off to Sajel Hickson. Well, if you Tiger fans have been watching, Sajel Hickson, there is no drop-off with this running back. He has the ability, when you're trying to run the clock out, but Sajel has the skills. He could just pop one out of here. Low snap, Diego, and the Hickson. And that one's picked up and recovered by, it looked like number 14 comes out of the scrum. So they're a low snap, Diego unable to handle it, bad exchange, and it's the Patriots' ball.
Yeah, quarterback never really had it, and he tried to get the handoff, and just it went downhill from there. So
Diego can too. In that situation, you probably just want to follow on that one, but he was trying to get the ball to Sajel Hickson. Now 1:10 on the clock, and the Pinellas Park Patriots are knocking on the door.
I see number 2 and number 3 in there.
So final 70 seconds.
All right, 1:10 on the clock. 70 seconds remain in this one. Tigers holding on this 38-14 lead. Patriot ball. And it's going to be Bryant, gets a good block out there again, and running down the sideline, touchdown, Derek Bryant. So, with 1:02 on the clock, it's now 38-20. So, pinning the extra point, this thing would be 38-21. Still too many points out there and not enough time.
It's just making the score look, it doesn't reflect what we've seen here all night. It's just going to make the score look a little more reasonable.
And now the very important extra point here. And Myrick's going to kick this one through. And that defensive tackle, the big defensive tackle, number 99, Nicholas Sims, will snap that one back there. And to hold is Cody Willoughby. Sims with a good snap, good hold, kicks up, it's good. So with 1:02 remaining, your Palmetto Tigers lead this one 38-21.
Now we'll see an onside kick.
No doubt. Well, I'll tell you what else you'll see if they recover. You'll see that first-string defense back out on the field.
That would
probably
yes. I would agree.
Enough is enough.
Now, you're selling out to recover this one if you get, and this is another thing with all the skill people out there for Palmetto. You're selling out to recover the ball.
They didn't really gather the kickoff team, so maybe they will kick it deep.
And back there to return this one is Jonte Wester and Sajel Hickson back there. This could be really interesting. Crawford's out there on the line of scrimmage with Kobe Mays, Damian Hill, and Charles Miller out there. On the far side, Adravian Butler. So Myrick is going to approach this one. And he kicks it away again. Watch out, Sajel Hickson. He's got the ball at the 10-yard line. Cuts to the middle of the field. Looking for a block. He gets one. It's at the 30, the 40. Cuts back again. Looks for another block. And he goes all the way to the 47-yard line is Sajel Hickson.
With the hands group blocking for him.
So let's just take a couple of knees and get back across the skyway. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
For those of you watching from outside of Florida, the drive that we made over here to Pinellas Park is one of my favorites.
38 miles.
38 miles north over the beautiful Skyway Bridge here on the beautiful sun coast of Florida. Temperatures were 85 degrees today if you're watching up there in North Dakota. It's dropped to a very cool, 75 degrees here. So beautiful day here in Florida. Great day, beautiful day for your Palmetto Tigers. 53 seconds on the clock. You're going to see Palmetto come out and go with the kneel offense. So the victory formation. Diego Cantu is back there, but they've put Anthony Marino back in there just to take this one. Make sure we get the snap. He does. He kneels, and the clock winds down 51 seconds. And the clock will continue to run here. And with no time on the clock, as things wind down 37 seconds on the clock. So really one more play. So that should just about do it. You know, tonight what we saw, the Palmetto Tigers, 2 weekends in a row, played the wing T type offenses, did a fantastic job defensively, made some adjustments, just a few games back, up for the task. And the defense tonight for the Palmetto Tigers do what they do. Palmetto Tigers scored 38 on the board. So the final score here will be Palmetto Tigers 38-21.
But once again, we give that MVP to the defense because they came out here and they just played extremely tough, hard-mouthed defense and shut down this dynamic offense for the Pinellas Park Patriots. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better, to be honest with you, Kenny. I mean, they gave up one score, but this team is used to they'll score 30, 40 points on you every game.
All right, guys, since I have the statistics here just brought to me from Stephen Johnson in our Atlanta headquarters, Pinella. Final statistics, 38 rushes for 219 yards, 9 for 20 passing for 63 yards, 282 total yards. Palmetto, 32 rushes for 169 yards, 12 for 18 passing for 190 yards, 359 total yards. Solid output again.
And what you see there, Brian, thank you, Steve, for doing that out of Atlanta. Again, the balance on Palmetto's side, 169 for the rush, 190. Just 21 yards out of sync, and
oh my goodness.
And then for Pinellas,
that's incredible.
Yeah, as they continue, and Pinellas with their 219 yards, the majority of that was here in this last half of this quarter. So that's deceiving, but we really took them out of the defense, took them out of their game, and we made the push tonight. We won the will. Who wanted it more, especially with the defense shutting that running game down.
Let me say that. Okay, 12 games, 58 yards difference between rushing and passing. 12 games.
In 12 games.
58 yards.
That's an average
difference.
of 4 and almost 5 yards on an average per game difference.
Then
you're passing and you're rushing.
And if you think about what we did defensively, most of those running yards came in the first half. the bulk of that. They came out here, they made adjustments in the second half, and they shut that offense down to the point where they could no longer run the ball, and they had to rely on the pass. And they're not a passing team. That's what makes the Tigers a different ball club. You shut us down in the running game, we're going to pass on you. You shut the passing game down, we're going to run on you. I mean, we're very explosive, and we can do so many things offensively that some teams just can't do.
And then our special teams also excelled tonight. Coverage, kicking, we got a field goal in, and we're going to listen to the coach.
Listen up!
Hey, thank you. I did not want to say goodbye to the seniors tonight. All right, that's a great job. Great job. All right, we will say goodbye to each other in Orlando. All right, we got to take the next step. We got to take the next step. All right, rest up this weekend again. Remember, Monday morning, meetings at 8:30. Okay, meetings at 8:30. All right, we got to get ready to go again, gentlemen. Round two. Round two. Great job. Let's go. Bring it up.
Let's go. Hey, family on me. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family.
Hey, Coach, here. Okay, Tiger fans, here with Coach Marino. Coach, obviously 38 points on the board. Offense has done what it's done all year. Defensively, really only 7 points given up by your defense tonight. Talk about the defense and how much it's grown.
It's all about the defense tonight. You know, offensively, we missed a couple opportunities down there to get touchdowns, and you know, we kicked some field goals, but no, defensively, my God, hats off to them. You know, the kids, you know, Ellison Bradley, he hadn't played like that all year. He keeps coming and filling the alley like that. You know, and like I said, inside, you know, the D-line really held their own up front. So, you know, it's all hats off to the defense. It was all about our defense tonight. That's a hell of an offense. They had been scoring 40, 50 points a game, and that's just a great job by our defense.
That's my next question. 10-0, Pinellas Park 10-0, I believe, and no one's really put it on them. They were shocked by the amount of points they were giving up. For us, defensively, we know that was a big game for us, but offensively, talk about the offense and how it's been consistent this year. You say we've had some missed cues tonight, but talk about the consistency of this offense, putting up 30, 40 points a game.
Like I said, that'll never change. You know, we have 8 returning starters. When you have your quarterback back and you have 4 returning receivers and you got tailbacks, you know, we have a lot of weapons and we're tough to defend. So we expect to score on every drive and score touchdowns. But like I said, the way our defense, you know, losing 7 guys and the way they've progressed throughout this season to where we are right now, you know, we're peaking at the right time, and you know, we're battle tested. You know, the schedule we play throughout the year, you know, yeah, we weren't undefeated, but those games that we lost were very close games, and we learned from them, and we got better from them, and we gained a lot of confidence from them. So, you know, our kids are playing with a lot of confidence. They're working hard every day to get better, and they're a work in progress. They're still a work in progress defensively. But I'm excited to see, you know, how they continue to progress over these next few weeks.
Looks like we have Bloomingdale coming up next week. I'm not sure if you had a chance to even look at Bloomingdale. We were looking at Venice, play Venice, and you know, the numbers are what they are, and we ended up falling to number 7, now playing the number 6 team in Bloomingdale. What are you looking forward to in the next week?
You know, we don't know a lot about Hillsborough County teams. They play each other, so you know, we're going to go back to work tomorrow as a staff, and you know, look at them and see what they got, and you know, we'll put our kids in position to be successful. We do every week, and we'll do a good job game planning for them as well.
I saw you saying thank you to the band, thank you to the fans at the end there. How much does it mean to have the support on the road like we've had all year long?
No better place than Palmetto. The Palmetto people, the parade, they gave us a send-off. You know, you just can't thank them enough for the enthusiasm they have in Palmetto. It's one town, one team, and you know, it's just a great experience for our kids.
Great game, Coach. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and grab Coach Ty here. Coach, we got the offensive line here again. Yes, sir. Well, most of them. One of them's talking to a girl over there, so you know how that goes. But talk about the game tonight. It was tough sledding. You guys you noticed as soon as you came out here tonight, the field was not ideal for running the ball, which is, you know, we like to do that a lot. Talk about how you had to adjust, how these guys had to adjust to that field.
Well, we knew playoff time. Every team you play from here is good. You know, the question was, we knew their interior 6 were 5 guys up front did phenomenal. We really dominated the line of scrimmage from start to finish, so I couldn't be happier to have these 5 guys lining up for us each week.
That's great. We were talking about we got a lot of seniors in this group. Who's going to be left? I know we got the young man here's going to be. He's a junior. Who else you got? All right, so we got the center, or we got 53. Are you going to be playing center next year? What are you playing next year? You don't know. Guard. All right. You guys talk about the defense here for Pinellas Park tonight. Is this what you expected to see? Were you guys able to dominate, do what you do every week?
I mean, they have a very athletic defense, but, we worked all week on, we have obviously an athletic defense too, and we worked all week against them. And, we just dominated and, finished the game strong.
Awesome. So do you guys feel like you were able to impose your will? Were they doing anything? Were they doing any stunts, try to fool you?
They went into a 50 front, which we didn't really practice for, but they ended up in it. I think we did pretty good.
So explain the 50 front.
They had a nose guard in front of me, and they didn't have that.
He couldn't handle you is what you're saying, right?
He couldn't handle me.
By the way, your mom is a better interview than you are. We got her at halftime. So, guys, going into next week, you got Bloomingdale, number 6 seed. Next week, they're all pointing at each other. Nobody wants to talk. We interviewed your dad at halftime, and he wouldn't stop talking. So maybe you're the talker in the group. So as the underclassmen in this group, mostly seniors here, what do you expect next week in the Bloomingdale team? What is important to focus on this week in preparation for that next second round of the playoffs?
We just need to focus on moving the ball, and then on defense, stopping them from moving the ball. That's it.
Pretty simple. All right, guys. All right, Coach, thanks. Good luck next week. Here with Coach Cucci, the one Cucci who almost didn't get kicked off today. That's good. The other Cucci almost had to go. But got young John Bember here. Coach, talk about the defensive effort tonight. We were just talking to Coach Marino, and offensively this team has been pretty good, pretty consistent all year. Defensively, we've had some struggles early in the season. The coaching staff made some great changes. And talk about the last, 3 or 4 weeks here and what you guys have been able to accomplish.
Better late than never, right? But no, we just move some guys around. Guys start to communicate, talk to each other, and play up front. Defense, any football game starts up front, and our D-line is playing extremely well right now. Linebackers are starting to play together. DBs tonight didn't get one guy behind them in pass coverage where we've been weak at in cover 4, but those guys did awesome tonight. All around, all 3 levels, those guys played together all night.
Did you see the offense tonight that you thought you were going to see? This team came in 10-0, undefeated, but we all suspected they hadn't really played anybody tough. Did you see anything outside the ordinary, or did the defense just play that well? I mean, were they overrated, you think, or do you think your guys just stepped up?
They're not overrated. Those are good football players. Number 2, number 3, all those guys up front, but we're from Manatee County. I mean, we play real football all year round. We don't have a cupcake schedule. I mean, we're playing 10 games in a row that means something.
Awesome. So here with John Bembry. John, great game tonight. You were all over the field again. Talk about how important it is for that defensive line to dominate. The linebackers generally get all the credit. You know how that goes. How does it feel to be that, to do such a good job and important for that defensive line to really, cause some grief for that offense?
Oh yeah, it feels great. They coaches tell us every week it's won and loss up front, and today we just did a better job, dominated up front, and Coach Walls got us ready this week.
Early on in the game and even into the later part of the game, they were able to gash us a little bit up the middle, but then you guys made some adjustments to that. What's the change? Is it just going the right direction, and is it just happenstance, or did you guys make some changes like maybe cutbacks, cutback tackling? Was it anything like that?
I think we just picked up the intensity overall as a defense and came together and put a stop to it.
Coach, I did notice in the second half, the defensive ends were really setting the edge, and I know that was an issue. That number 2 would get around the side. He's pretty quick. How important is it for the defensive ends to get in there and really set the edge so these guys can really come in and clean up and make those tackles?
Everyone doing their own job. I mean, those guys realized we had to get a better pass rush with 4. So when we did in the run game, also staying outside, setting the edges when we had our out front. So they did a great job. They just did exactly what they were supposed to do with their coach. They're good football players, and we're starting to hit the stride at the right time.
What do we need to work on next week in preparation for Bloomingdale?
Just play. I'm worried about Palmetto, man. As long as we keep our heads on right and just keep playing as a defense, communicating to each other, we can play with anybody.
All right, guys, thank you. Coach Cucci is the epitome of a defensive coach. We do what we do. It's not about anybody else. It's about us. And I see that my guys are the only ones left up in the booth up there, so I'm going to go ahead and kick it back to you.
Hey, thank you, Tom Porter. Back in the press box, Brian Varnador, Rick Wells, Ken Burton Jr. It's been a fantastic night for this FHSAA postgame show with Tom. Your Palmetto Tigers win this one 38-21. What a great effort.